Hi, friends. What is going on up in here?
It goes.
I'm in a good mood today, guys.
That's it. We've been off the rails out there for like an hour and a half already.
I wish we would have just recorded that, and
Right.
then we wouldn't have had to work today.
You got accosted for using your box.
Yeah, I got accosted for using my box. Shout out Rufio, thanks for the box. I got quiet quit on. I got Irish goodbye in the flesh. That was absolutely hilarious. What else happened to me this morning? I coined a new catchphrase.
Mm-hmm.
Do you care to remind us?
I was gonna, do you have something to say, Jeff?
Do you care to remind us?
Yeah, I was talking about drinking, shocking. And I was talking about how at night I just drink till I'm tired and then I go to bed. And then when I wake up in the morning,
Some people call it alcoholism.
no, because when I wake up in the morning, I don't want to drink.
No, that's when you drink until it's gone.
Yes.
Oh, right.
And then go to bed.
Yeah, when I wake up in the morning, I don't want to drink.
I don't want to talk about that.
But I did mention that when I do wake up, all I'm doing throughout the day is just mustering up the courage to start drinking. I don't have it right now.
Quite the hero.
I don't have it right now. Like, I have no desire
Check
whatsoever.
back in 5 minutes.
No, I got a little headache. I did take some ibuprofen, though, so hopefully that's...
Why do you have a headache?
I didn't sleep very well last night.
Why didn't you sleep very well?
I don't think I had enough water. What's wrong with you? God, everybody's coming after me today. Sprague yelling at me about standing on a box. I was like, dude, I've been doing this for weeks.
Called you a heightener.
Weeks. A heightener.
Mm.
I do kind of wish I was taller.
Well, see, but they just clearly haven't been
Wish you
paying
were a
attention.
baller.
You guys,
I am a baller.
you made a deal out of this when you started doing it.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
I wonder if they
Somebody's
think,
not listening.
I wonder if they think I'm like a weird guy that's just trying to get attention.
I mean-
I did slide across the roof of a NASCAR.
I mean, yes, but it's also fine.
Slid across the roof of a NASCAR.
Yep.
I stand on a box.
That's going on a life resume, right?
Yeah. Speaking of, on my resume,
Get introduced as a speaker somewhere, once slid across the hood of a NASCAR.
on my resume during special skills,
Mm.
I have forklift certified
Oh, yeah.
and karaoke legend. It always brings up
You
conversations.
know why? You know how you know somebody's forklift certified?
They tell you.
They tell you.
Yeah, it's like CrossFit.
100%.
Or being a Mac user or a rescue dog owner.
God, I'm both those.
Me too. Let me just open up this MacBook Pro over here.
Yeah.
Oh, look, it's a picture of my rescue dog.
Yeah.
While we were CrossFitting.
Literally.
After passing
the lock
forklift
screen of my
certification.
phone.
I'm going to get a lot of crap for that one, aren't I?
Yeah. I mean, the rescue was just out of, kind of not off a whim, but we weren't like, oh my God, we need to go get a rescue. It was just he was that little pup in the window.
Oh, and mine is just I'm cheap.
It still wasn't cheap in the end. It was
no.
still almost a G
Really?
to get him for a rescue. Yeah.
Oh, we got ours from the Southwest Washington Humane Society Animal Rescue.
They put the money back into it. That's why it's a little more
What do you mean?
expensive. Like the place that we went through.
Yeah.
It's so Tanner, my pup, which we don't know what he is. We're pretty
My
sure
dog.
we're pretty sure he's a pit bull dachshund, which yeah, I know. He's the most built little dachshund looking dog you've ever seen in your entire life. It's very awkward and funny. He's just jacked
Did you
beyond.
just call your dog stupid?
No, he's not stupid.
I wonder what the breed that you would
Is
call
your
that
dog
one
special
for that
needs?
kind of mix.
Well, Dallas, she's a Chiweenie Poo. She's
Oh,
the other dog.
Gesundheit.
Yeah, right. Chihuahua, poodle, and dachshund. So they both have a kind of a longer body, but they have longer legs. And Dallas, it's like she's like a supersized Chihuahua.
Okay.
Where Tanner is just like they look like they're the same size dog.
Okay.
One weighs 15 pounds, the other one weighs 20 because he's just a brick. But where we got him from, it's a rehoming spot, and there's like 5 locations on the West Coast. And when they rescue them, they put them in one place. If they don't get rescued there, they go to another place, and they just kind of keep going until they find them a home, kind of a deal. And but they're a little bit more expensive because it's private, and they take all that money and they put it back into the rescue.
Okay.
So that's why it's a little bit more expensive. But
Gotcha. Because I think my dog was only like $250.
yeah, once
My cat, I think they paid me to take the cat.
Yeah, see, he was $800, but then you have to pay all the other stuff to have the paperwork and
Gotcha.
shots and all that kind of stuff, and which I was fine with because Dallas was $3,800.
Whoa.
Yeah, we bought her during COVID.
My wife once bought a cat for $1,500.
Yeah, Dallas was dumb expensive. I was
And she
not thrilled about that.
And then that cat disappeared one day, and she decided we're never spending that kind of money on
Oh,
a
yeah.
pet again, which stinks because I really want when my cat goes, I want 2 Mancoons, 2 brother Mancoons.
There you go.
And name them Poncho and Lefty.
I like it.
Yeah, I
Well,
want 'em
here's the
so
thing.
bad.
Tanner was significantly.
Rusty's just dying in the
Yeah.
booth right now, laughing. Poncho and Lefty,
Yeah.
dude.
What about Pancho and Villa?
Yeah, man, just 2 big ass cats
Mhm.
on the lamb,
Just chilling.
Willie and Merle Haggard style. Yeah, hell yeah, brother.
Tanner ended up being more
Honk your horn if
expensive.
you're driving your car.
Yeah, Tanner ended up being more expensive because he had parvo when we brought him home.
I don't know what that is
It's,
either.
it's the puppy killer.
Oh, dude, I'm learning stuff.
Uh,
Parvo.
Yeah. So I think most of his litter ended up dying because they
Whoa.
weren't rescued. But yeah, Tanner racked
It's
up.
got dark quick.
No. Tanner racked up 5 Gs in vet bills in the first week he was home.
How, this is going to be a really morbid, awful question. How big do your vet bills have to be before you make the call?
For me, there's not a number big enough.
Yeah.
I'm
You're going to figure it out?
I'm gonna figure it out one way or the other.
I don't know that answer. I'm fresh into the dog world for the
Yeah.
first time in my life. And I'll tell you what,
I
I've
feel
been a
like-
dog owner for about a year and a half now, and if anything happened to that dog, I will murder everyone in this building.
I feel like it's the Supreme Court definition of pornography, and that
you know
when
it
get
when you
there.
see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dogs I had previously, they both had knee surgeries, and those were not cheap. They both had both knees done. It's like, oh, hey, look, taken after dad.
I watched this movie over the weekend called We Bought a Zoo. Terrible movie.
That's the Wahlberg one?
It is. No, that's
it's
Matt Damon.
Damon,
Matt
sorry.
Damon. And they put down the Bengal tiger,
Mm.
and I was very depressed about it
Mhm.
because he was adamant that he wasn't going to do it.
I can't watch. I love John Wick. I cannot watch the puppy scene, even
mean-
though you don't see it. The thud, like I get so viscerally angry. People that hurt animals in general. I'm not talking about hunters. It's different. Like I'm
I
talking
don't
about.
know. They're hurting animals.
I'm talking about like domesticated animals. Like people who like we ever see those videos of like people who leave their dog on the side of the freeway and they're rescued, and it's like if I ever found somebody who did that, the things I would do to them would pale in comparison to the things that I've mentioned on this radio show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just those kind of people drive me to a level of pure unadulterated rage that I cannot fathom.
Yeah, that'd be tough. If you have a movie poster and there's a dog on the poster, I'm not watching your movie.
Right?
I'm not watching.
If the dog dies, dude, it's like
This ain't gonna
John
happen.
Wick is like the only one where I'm like,
I will
this
storm
movie's still
out
great.
in tears, swearing at everybody.
Mhm.
I will.
Mhm.
I will.
So you
I
want
will cry harder than I did at Toy Story 3.
so Homeward Bound, not your jam. It's nothing but dogs.
Oh, man, I love that movie.
It's great. Are
I
you
love
kidding
that
me?
movie. I don't watch Milo and Otis anymore though. Once I found out that like 20 cats died in that river scene, I was like, oh man.
Where the red fern grows. We're watching that as a
I
kid.
read the
that-
book, too.
Yeah, that. Ooh,
Bambi.
it's fine.
Dude, that's a mama.
Yeah, I know, but that's
His mama died.
also dinner.
Wow. You're a horrible human being. You're terrible, dude.
I told you I have a sliding scale for this. One's
Dinner?
one's dinner, one's not.
Yeah, but one's Disney and one's not.
I don't know if you know this, but Disney in the early days, pretty damn dark.
Pretty dark.
Like it's
Dude, there's some scenes in Dumbo that are pretty sad.
ooh,
Like,
buddy.
I don't think my kids have ever seen Dumbo, and I don't know if I'll let them
Mm-hmm.
because it's dark.
Yeah,
He's like crying in the cave. How about Pinocchio?
yeah.
Pinocchio when he's like at slave labor camp
Mm-hmm.
and all the kids want to go home and they're like crying in cages. That's terrible.
Fievel Goes West.
Oh my gosh.
American Tail. I mean, good God.
I mean, Fievel Goes West isn't so bad. American Tail is
Is
tragic.
It literally, it's like, hey, what if we just put just the complete plight of a population into a cartoon? It's like, whoa.
Rescuers Down Under came out when I was a kid,
Mhm.
and I loved that movie. I
And
thought
then
that
you
movie
watch it
was
as an
so
adult,
great.
and you're going,
No, it wasn't even that one. Then I come to find out, like
Rescuers.
years later, that's the sequel,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, "There's another." It's like when the first Star Wars movie I remember is Empire Strikes Back, and then I found out there was a New Hope, and I was like, "There's another Star Wars movie." I was so excited. Loved A New Hope. Sobbed profusely during Rescuers. That is like some real creepy, like child trafficking,
Yeah.
disgusting.
Meanwhile, down under, you've got Joanna's eggs.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're just kind of like, oh, the kid's saving the eggs. Yeah. The other one's
These
got
are not Joanna's eggs.
the other one is like two alligators that kind of represent maybe molesters. I don't know what to tell you.
Ooh, this one, the brave little toaster, is terrifying.
Terrifying, absolutely terrifying. Every time I watch that movie, I think I'm on drugs.
Yeah. Yeah, YouTube, I Am Legend, where he has to put down the dog. Oh, God.
Oh God.
Oh, I'm crawling. Like, when you get uncomfortable and crawl up this chair, brother, I'm
Yeah.
losing it. Honestly, I have cried harder and like more like viscerally at animals that get put down in a movie than over any character ever dying in any show.
Toy Story 3 gets me every time.
Mm,
I was that kid that played with his toys by himself.
that tracks.
Yeah. 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 Wants to hang out with me. Half the time it's because I was suspended and home from school.
Hey.
Yeah, I loved my toys. So when I watch Toy Story 3, dude, it's just so damn heart wrenching.
I had the did you guys remember the Little Tykes plastic football that was about 3 feet long, about 2 feet tall? It was hollowed out.
No, I don't think so.
I knew a couple other
What's it
kids-
called?
The Little Tykes, the
Little Tykes
I think that's what it
football?
is. But that was the toy box. And brother, I had every toy imaginable in that thing. Ninja Turtle, G.I. Joe.
Oh, I know what
He-Man,
this is. Yeah.
Big plastic football hollowed
Yeah,
out.
I know what
Yeah.
it is.
I had Transformers, Ninja Turtles, G.I. Joes, He-Man. I had it all in that thing.
I played with action figures.
Oh, yeah.
I had Star Wars and Jurassic Park.
See, the Star Wars stuff, for the most part, was still, for whatever reason, was still in the packaging. I don't know what ended up happening to that, because that was probably worth a lot.
Yeah.
There was, at one point in time, there was 2 Millennium Falcons. One of them was still in the box. That thing's probably worth a couple grand now,
Yeah, probably.
wherever it is.
Yeah, I remember once I gave all my Ninja Turtles to the kid down the street who they were a pretty poor family and we were
Yeah.
moving and I gave all my Ninja Turtles away and I regret it to this day. I hope that kid is like I hope that
Hope it
kid
saved him.
I hope that kid is like Gavin Newsom or something, somebody like important.
Except not him.
Except not him. I forget. Danny is probably anti Gavin Newsom.
I think most people are.
Not me. I love the dude. Good looking guy like that. How could I say no?
When I hear Gavin and a guy that looks like that, I think the lead singer from Bush.
Really?
Yeah, that's the first Gavin.
Gavin Newsom is a more attractive dude from the Coldplay concert.
Do you want to talk about concerts right now?
No, I don't. Oakley dokley, let's get the hell out of here. We got a lot to get to today on this program.
What is happening?
I don't know, dude. I want to go home now. I feel like I just watched Marley and Me. What is
occurring.
That's an
absolute no.
God.
That's an absolute
Gut wrenching.
no.
Never watching that again.
We got a lot to get to today. The moral of the story for today's show is overreactions. Some are good, some are bad, and some are just what they are. But we'll start with the local boys as the Ducks cruise to a victory. This is the firm of Harrison Meringue, 105.1 The Fan. 10:18 here, Portland Sports Leader. Don't you forget it. We are live, baby. From the shadows of the historic Fremont Bridge, 503-864-6326. That's the fan text line. She'll let you interact with us throughout the entire day. Also, shout out to our YouTube cats coming in, doing the hard work, the heavy lifting on a Tuesday. Does it feel like a Tuesday to you, Daniel?
Every day feels like a Tuesday to me, Patrick,
Really? Why is
Yes.
that?
because I don't know what days are. I was like,
For it must be a Tuesday.
yeah,
It's always a Tuesday.
It was Saturday was Sunday, Sunday was Saturday, Monday was Sunday. I was just like, no, don't get up and go to work today.
It took me an hour into getting here this morning before I realized, oh, yeah, it's Tuesday.
Mhm.
I slept in, not realizing it was Tuesday. I even worked on our show prep on the Monday box. Now I'm good to go on Tuesday. Once I looked at it and kind of looked at the future of the week, then I was like Yosemite Sam with the guns, just like bang, 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 bang. Why does he have unlimited ammo?
Because he's just a G like that.
Yeah, like he never
Because
has to
it's a
reload.
cartoon.
He never has to reload. He can always shoot. Nobody gets hurt. He shoots in the ground a lot too.
Yeah.
It's a good mustache.
I will tell. I have had an accidental discharge.
Really?
Mhm.
You and Plaxico Burris?
In the house.
In the house?
Put a hole in the floor.
Dude!
Finger nowhere. So without naming any brands, I have a conceal and carry handgun that is smaller than the palm of my hand. It's very, very tiny.
A Walther PPK.
No, but smaller than that even.
I just know that because I've seen Bond movies.
My dad did work for a company that manufactures them. I got a decent deal on one. And I do what you're supposed to do, at the ground, away from everything else, clearing the chamber. And these things have a penchant for hanging up this on the slide, and it hung up. And I went to, because there was a round in there and it wouldn't eject the round. Finger nowhere near trigger. Slide disengages, slams the round back in, firing pin hits and goes off, put a hole in the floor.
I've never shot a gun in my life.
We'll fix that.
No.
We'll fix that.
I'm good, dude. I made 40 years.
We'll
I'd like
fix
to go
that.
another 40. Well, I don't believe in killing animals.
No, you don't have to kill an animal.
Man, I don't need a
You
gun.
just kill some paper.
I don't need a gun then.
You know what? I have had the most staunch anti-gun people in my life come shooting with me, and the look on their face the first time they pull a trigger from a 7.62 round, buddy,
No, I'm good.
I'm
good.
it is a feeling.
They're not staunch anti-gun people. They're just pre-serial killers.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
I'm out. The Oregon Ducks defeated the Montana State Bobcats 59-13.
no, it's not 70 plus points.
It's not 70 plus points. Apparently, that's the litmus test around here. Today's theme is overreactions, right? Right. So we're just trying to think about, and we'll get to that kind of validity of that or not, but we'll stick here with the Oregon Ducks. I will tell you this from a first glance of watching this game, and I watched the first half pretty diligently. I was kind of in and out in the second half. I was kind of flipping around. I think the Bama game was on at the time, so I was kind of peeking in on that. Watched a couple drives of Penn State.
Like watching a snuff film.
Yeah. And so I kind of just, I was there for the first half. Boy, I'll tell you what, I know it's Montana State. That offense looked really nice to me. It looked smooth. It looked practiced. I know that's a weird word to say, but like, it looked deliberate. It looked like they knew what they were doing.
It was vanilla, and I don't mean that as like a negative. They kept it very simple for the most part. And don't get me wrong, they did ran a few things here or there.
Sure.
But I think, and the landing said something to this, akin to this, is like, yeah, we kept things a little more simple. Like we weren't trying to do. It was about like kind of being good at the basics, and that's what they did. They had 13 different players rushed the ball. Like,
oh, I'm looking at the stats right now, and I was like,
Yeah.
there was that many?
yeah, they played a ton of depth. I mean, Oregon and USC both did the same thing. They put away teams that were just nowhere close, and they got a lot. They both got opportunities to get depth out there, which you look around the country. Not a lot of teams got the opportunity to do that. There was a lot of nasty football played, even against bad teams.
Yeah, we'll get to a lot of those today. I agree. I think what you're looking for in these games, and shout out to Fight On yourself, like execution.
Just go
It's-
out there and do
just
what you're
do
supposed to do.
to do. And I thought Oregon did that
Yeah.
very, very well.
That's exactly
It looked smooth. It was a beautiful day in Autzen. It never rains at Autzen
No, it
Stadium.
never
Did
rains.
you know that?
No.
It was a beautiful day in Eugene. And, jersey combos, crowd looking good. It was just, if that's my team, if you're an Oregon Duck fan, and I know a lot of you are
Check the
listeners out there,
boxes.
that I don't know what you come out of that game disagreeing with.
No, I think
thinking like, oh, I wish we could have done this better, or we missed an opportunity here. I thought for vanilla, execution was borderline flawless.
it is kind of funny that the biggest, stat line or note that came out of this game is Decorian Moore,
Yes.
the run block.
Yep.
Which, brother, that man dog walked a dude 25 yards and then pancaked him in the end zone. That was dope as hell.
Yeah, I think for me, my big take is Kenyon Sadiq is a bad man.
He's a player.
He is a bad
He's
man.
he's a like we talked about Caleb Downs with Ohio State. You're just like he's just
a guy.
He's just a football player. Kenyon
He's just-
Sadiq is just a football player.
Man,
He's
we're gonna watch him on Sundays.
He's an obscene athlete
Yeah.
that can just do special stuff, and that was what I was alluding to when I said, Lanning. It wasn't all vanilla. They got Sadiq the ball, and they split him out at wideout. They put him in the backfield, got him the ball. But you ticked all the boxes, and Dante Moore looked good. Here's the thing, he looked controlled, and like that's
Comfortable.
That's what you want to see out of that. Like, I wasn't. I'm like, oh, Dante Moore's Heisman. Like, no, like. None of that stuff.
We're not in overreaction.
No. It was just good. You ticked the box. You made the reads. You didn't make any mistakes. Did what you were supposed to do. Good. And again, that's not a backhanded compliment. It's just, it's Montana State. You didn't go out there and Idaho this thing, and the pucker factor wasn't there.
Right.
Offensive line, great. Defense, great. Your depth got out there and performed and didn't show any kind of real drop off. Great. Like, again, you just ticked all the boxes all the way down, and you did it without having Mekhi Hughes out there.
Yeah, the Mekhi Hughes thing is going to be weird. We'll have Tyson Alger on tomorrow. We'll chat with him. I know everybody's got thoughts and opinions, and I was listening to the boys in the morning, and Andy brought up a great point. Like, if he's not in there doing stuff, you got to trust Lanning and Will Stein. Like, you got to trust that those guys see them every day and know what they're doing. So I don't know if it's a depth thing. I don't know if it's a Montana State thing. I don't know if you slept with the wrong person or what it is, but they look like they didn't need him.
There was talking to a few
and
people.
that might be the depth that you were talking about. That
Talking to a
their
few
just depth is
people
that good.
Coming into the season. This is a couple weeks ago. I was like, yeah, man, Mekhi Hughes is pretty good at Tulane. I got a few eyebrows up like, well.
Buckle up. You're about to see something.
Yeah, he I heard that he wasn't running away with the job.
Yeah.
So
coming in on the YouTube chat, Zach says, being there live, I feel like Moore has some growing to do. He missed several receivers wide open for less open guys. And that's going to be the watch.
Yeah.
That's going to be the watch, is how does Dante evolve into this system? But I think from a Dante perspective, I think being comfortable and confident,
controlled,
the 3 C's are what you wanted to see from him. Clearly, he's the starter.
I'll tell you right now.
And I don't mean like, is he going to start next week? No. I think clearly he is the guy. Because as much as you can like Novosad, I don't know if Novosad goes out there and looks as clean as Dante does.
That's fair.
And that's just age and experience, etc. And that's my takeaway from Dante.
When here's the counter to that, in a sense, I get what that person is saying 100%. I looked around the country this week and I watched a lot of bad quarterback play.
A lot.
I would say most. I'd say, was Josh Hoover the best quarterback we saw this season or this week for TCU?
Hoover was good. I would say
Sellers was good, but he left some meat on the bone.
Sellers left some meat on the bone. I would say my boy John Mateer was pretty good.
Tier's pretty good.
Tier was pretty good. I mean, Dante was pretty good.
Yeah, that was the point I was going to get to. It's like,
but like Allard didn't blow me away.
Nobody did, man.
Yeah.
Like, nobody really looked.
We'll get to the Ohio
great.
State-Texas game, too, because that's some rough quarterback play on both sides.
Nussmeier and Klubnik, they're supposed to be the veterans out there, and they didn't, like, don't get me wrong, Nussmeier helped LSU win.
Dude, I think Klubnik ran for 400 yards.
But it was like...
just to get away from dudes
because
coming at him.
But he wasn't a productive quarterback, and the offense wasn't getting it done. And so you just kind of look up and down. All of the quarterback play that we've been talking about coming into the season, I think it kind of came to fruition, and this feels like a season. If you want to talk about mild overreaction, this feels like a college football season that is going to be made up of quarterbacks who don't bleep it up.
Game managers,
not guys that win you games, guys that don't lose you games.
Yeah, let's stick with that. Overreactions. Look, We mention this all the time. I had this thought. Rusty and I were working this morning on show stuff, and I had this thought popped into my brain of, we always talk about how, oh, it's first week, there's overreactions, everybody's overreacting. Let's actually talk about why we do that, and if they're valid, if they're not. Let's get into that. We'll do it next. But first, there's Rust with sports.
Now, from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This update brought to you by Grand Central Bowl Arcade and Sports Bar, your Ducks game day headquarters in Portland. First on the Fan, the Mariners have lost 3 of 4. They continue their road trip. Game 2 of 3 at the Rays this afternoon. 4:35 first pitch on Root Sports. Brian Wu on the bump for Seattle. Drew Rasmussen for Tampa. The M's are now 3 games back of the Astros in the American League West and hold only a 1.5 game lead over the Rangers for the final wild card spot. Padres reliever Jason Adam carted off the field Monday and has apparently suffered a ruptured tendon in his left quadriceps. Adam says he still needs to have an MRI, but he's likely out 6 to 9 months. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Your home for the Oregon Ducks, the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Coming up in the 11 o'clock hour, we'll have the new AP poll released. So we'll shimmy through that bad boy and see what's going on there. Some of the other big games to get to today, which we will in the 11 o'clock hour. Clemson, LSU. We'll chat about that. We'll look around the Pacific Northwest at some really, really tough football to watch over the weekend for two teams in two completely different ways. And then in the noon hour, maybe I was wrong. Maybe it's a little early. But the theme of today is overreactions. Good, bad, necessary, unnecessary. And I feel like we always bring this up. It's week one. And, we'll
who
do
you
this.
are in week 1 is not who you are in week 10.
And we'll do this in the NFL. Like, oh my God, Trevor Lawrence is back because he has a great game in week 1, but they played Tennessee, or whatever. But sometimes these overreactions are a good thing.
Sometimes they hold true.
Sometimes they really hold true. And I think you can have overreactions that sound like they're overreactions, but they're actually just what you see.
Two things for me that stood out. Number one, if you are one of those people that put money on Arch Manning to win Heisman, that money's gone. No, it's gone.
I don't know if it's gone.
It's gone.
There's nobody after week 1 that I'm like, that guy's the Heisman winner.
I'm telling you, Arch Manning, Heisman, gone.
No.
Gone.
No way.
Gone.
No.
You can't throw the ball like that. No, it's gone. It's gone. Poof.
But
gone.
that's what I mean, though. That is too much of an overreaction.
For me, it's not. It's not. It's like you can't be that unproductive.
I think you can, and then rattle off 9 more production.
No.
Yeah. What if you play in Georgia in the SEC title?
He's
game?
gonna have to. Okay, sure. Is he throwing for 300 yards and 2 touchdowns at least a game every game the rest of the season?
Maybe.
You saw him throw the ball or attempt to throw the ball.
I did.
It's not. It's gone. It's cooked. It's cooked. Number two.
I'm not looking for your overreactions.
I'm giving you my 2 though. I'm giving you my 2.
I didn't ask for.
I don't care. Alabama's in trouble.
I know. We'll get to that in a moment.
They're in trouble.
We'll get to that in a moment.
I'm giving you my 2. Those are the only 2 that I have after this week.
But what I'm saying is that like one of those, what you're saying, one of those I believe is a reaction.
Mm-hmm.
The other is an overreaction.
That's fair.
I think there's room for both of them in this world. I guess the question is why do we need it? Because we're just yelling at each other? Because we need it for clicks and ratings and stuff like that?
I typically don't.
I'm not saying what you're saying. I mean the collective.
No, I'm just saying. For me personally, I don't think I have many overreactions to things. I usually I want more data to make, beliefs justified. But when something is so apparent, the one I'll go back to is Hackett with the Seahawks. After that first week against the Broncos against the Seahawks, I looked at Dusty. I go, he's not making it past week 4. There's no chance.
Yeah,
he's no, he's done. He is done.
Yeah,
because it was so egregious. I think those ones are. They sound like they can be overreactions for sure, but it's one of those things. Like you mentioned it earlier, Jeff, with the Supreme Court case on pornography. You just know it when you see it, and we can talk about Texas is this and that. It's like, no, I don't think you're really getting. I don't think you got many things out of this weekend that you can. I mean, you can overreact. I mean, we heard all of the SEC calls, and boy, Paul Feinbaum's going to have to eat a lot after calling Arch Manning the best college quarterback or better than Tim Tebow. Oops. You can feel how you want about Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow as a college quarterback,
top 5 player I ever saw,
is unreal. But you just kind of look at the holistic nature of it all. It's just fun.
Yeah, I think
you carve out your space.
Yeah,
and you go, this is mine.
But I worry it's a little dangerous. Like we just got done talking about the Ducks, and I was saying like I really enjoyed Dante Moore.
Oh no, no way, Five Toes. no way.
And I think I can enjoy Dante Moore without saying he's going to win the Heisman or he's the best quarterback in the Big Ten or whatever.
Is the Post-it note still in here?
What Post-it note? There's a folded one right here.
Sprague and Dirt had the Dante Moore won a Heisman deal. Was that from like April? So March or April. Dirt was saying something about Dante winning the Heisman, and Sprague was like, hell no.
There was a
Post-it note that was stuck on something.
But
somewhere.
I said,
oh, here it is. Not a chance, not in New York. Brandon Sprague, 528 on Dante Moore's Heisman chances. Yeah, the Post is still here. It's on the mic box.
Wow.
Yeah. I knew it was in here somewhere.
Saving receipts?
Yeah.
When was that written?
5/28, May 28th.
But I can still sit here and say that I thought Dante Moore was great this weekend.
I wouldn't say great. I think very solid.
Very solid.
Very solid.
That's all I want.
But also the bar for quarterback play right now in college football, very solid, is better than damn near anyone.
I guess I'm just trying to remind us all sometimes to be calm.
To be 5 toes down.
No,
Yes.
to be calm.
Yeah, you're not staking.
Like wait and see.
You're
We don't have to freak out all of a
See,
sudden
no,
all,
you see,
right away.
You're not even going to carve out a little Patrick Harris island. Just nothing.
No.
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 You're island hopping.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
I think it's better to just kind of wait and react as new information is given to us.
Or stake out a claim and realize there's no gold on it, then go look for another one.
I don't even know if I could think of a claim to stake right now.
Washington State, not very good.
All right, there you go. I'll give you that. Not very good. 1-0 though. 1-0.
Hey, it's been better than some other Pac-12 teams.
1-0. Yeah, I guess I try desperately not to be overreactive to really anything. Sports is fun.
Yeah.
And I try not to get all hot and bothered by it. I ran into an Alabama friend yesterday.
Oh, how are they doing?
She is struggling.
I mean, they should be.
And this guy rolled by in an LSU Tiger hat and said, "Roll tears."
Hey.
And I was like, "Ooh."
There's always the video of the guy that has the LSU bathroom as the LSU toilet, and the inside of the toilet bowl is Alabama. It's crimson red with Alabama A. So he goes, "You take a dump right here," like right on the A. I'm like,
split the A like right in the middle
Yeah.
part of it. Yeah.
it's pretty good. But that's where the fun lies. Like my overreaction in game this weekend was TCU North Carolina. That first drive for North Carolina,
You were like, "Whoa!"
they just manhandled TCU offensively. They go out there and they punch TCU in the mouth on their first defensive possession. I was like, I did not have North Carolina blowing TCU off the ball on both sides of the ball in the first possession. And then the game went the complete opposite way from the time I hit send on that tweet. It was like, there it is.
If I were to have an overreaction, it's that after watching Ohio State and Texas, and then Penn State jump out to a big lead and Oregon jump out to a big lead, and it wasn't really until I caught the beginning of Clemson LSU, I was like, man, this day kind of sucks.
Oh, it was Miami.
I was like,
Miami Notre Dame was the best game
I
of
was
the
like,
weekend.
I'm not really
hands down.
having a lot of fun with this. And then Miami Notre Dame, we'll get to that tomorrow, probably. I don't know. Like, we got so much to get through with college football just in week one. I don't know what we're going to do when NFL gets here. But that was my take. I was really worried. And then the night slate kicked in, and I was a happy camper.
Oh God,
A very happy camper.
The old
Despite watching some rough football.
Pac-12 after dark's really hard.
It was really difficult.
Random takeaway from this weekend. I have a new bucket list destination.
Yeah?
In college and just in sports.
Okay.
Doak Walker when Florida State is good.
That place looked fun.
Bro, every stop they got, the whole crowd just roaring was just nuts.
And let's go there next.
Nuts.
You want to go to Doak Walker?
Yeah, let's
we'll
go.
go to Doak Walker next. Alabama is in trouble. Or is Florida State actually kind of good? We'll do that next. The Firm, 105.1 The Fan. Heavy college football day around here, but that's what week 1 is all about. I had a lot of fun watching college football this weekend. You know, even though some of it was a little rough.
I mean, most of it was rough.
Yeah, but I had fun.
Yeah.
You know, this is a new adventure for me because I always like kind of casually watch college football, you know, and now I'm like making appointment viewing and I'm having fun. I'm excited about it.
The thing I didn't realize I missed so much were the incredible plays.
I think so too.
The Williams catch in the Miami Notre Dame game was bonkers.
You know what else I think I really missed? This is what you alluded to. The fans.
Yes.
College fans are so amazing.
Dude.
For better or for worse. Some of them are real cringy and do stupid stuff. And some of them
look, man.
Dude, the Alabama guy who's now a GIF for the rest of his life.
Oh, yeah.
Who's now a meme for the rest of his life.
Great.
Just
throwing the bird up.
Oh
Just
my God.
fantastic.
It was so good. I've
Um,
probably seen that, no joke, 35 times.
Oh,
and every time I watch it, I'm like, this is.
Are you kidding me? It went in my keeper file.
This is
I'm like, well, I'm
amazing.
keeping this one later. But the state of Florida.
Flo Rida.
It is not, I mean, this should come as a shock to absolutely no one, is the biggest set of bandwagon fans in sports.
Really?
But when they ride, they
ride
ride
hard.
hard. Man, Miami Hard Rock was lit.
That place was nuts, dude.
It
There
was-
were some serious co-eds in that
Oh, I mean,
building.
again, when it's turned up, man, Miami and Florida State and Florida, the
I'm not a guy that usually looks for that, but the TV was looking for me, and it was like,
Well, it's
whoa.
not. Look, man, we're all human. We can all go. Yeah, Arizona and Florida, two states that produce a
Sup.
significant amount of
Sup.
disturbingly attractive women. It just is what it is. But Hard Rock was nuts at Miami Notre Dame, and Cristobal alluded to it over and over again. Like, this place was what we need it to be. But Doak Walker for Florida State, Alabama, that place was nutty.
Well, I think they were ready. You know, I think if you're a Florida State fan, alumni in that crowd, you're trying to get as far away from last season as possible.
Yeah.
So anything,
Two ends of stuff.
So you got Bama walking in. So yeah, the hype train is there, and everyone's stoked on the first kickoff when you're ready to go.
Castellanos talking heaps of S going into that game and then backing it up and just pimp slapping the hell out of Alabama.
And that
It was just like, did not see this coming.
from a Doak Walker standpoint, it didn't take long for them to smell blood in the water.
Oh God, no! And that's the thing about, again, Florida. Those fans, when there is blood in the water, it just comes. Like I said, every single defensive stop in that game, the war chant broke out, and you could, like, it just it just kind of. It was one of those things where it just kind of feeds upon itself, and it just kept going and going and going. And you could see the Florida State sideline just start lighting up, and you could see Alabama fading. And it was just, like, that final score wasn't even close to
No,
as indicative
I
as what
agree.
that game was.
What is the concourse like at halftime? 17-7. You're going to take a leak and grab another bevy.
Oh, yeah.
And you're looking at your buddy like you're
Are
sitting.
we going to continue doing this in the second half?
It's like, should I meet you at the 40 or the 50? Like,
Yeah.
where are we rushing the field?
What is this? It was a 10th or 11th straight opponent that has beaten Alabama and stormed the field on the road.
I don't know that stat. That
It
sounds
was,
wild.
It was 10th or 11th. But
Um,
that Alabama's lost on the road, and the other team stormed the field.
Let's talk about Alabama for a moment.
It's not Ty Simpson's fault,
He
but
didn't
did
look
not,
good.
He did not help them.
No, I felt he held onto the ball a little too long, but he also kind of that offensive line kind of failed him.
Well, Ryan Williams is in concussion protocol. He's probably out next week now. Caden Proctor, for being a guy who's supposed to be a top 5 NFL pick, did not look the part. Alabama's defense, which has been under Nick Saban violent, was a pussycat.
I know that Dirt was on this real hard this morning on the morning show, and this squarely lands on Kalen DeBoer.
Yeah.
There's no way around it. I think Ty Thompson held onto the ball too long. I felt the offensive line kind of failed him. That defense, like you just said, was soft. I agree with all that. Where does that all stem from? It's a lack of institutional control, and not in a paying players NCAA kind of way.
No.
It's in, what do your guys get up for?
They were baby poop soft. Like, They got punked, and you look. It's a it's a non-con game, so it's not going to hurt your conference record.
Sure,
but
and they still got a chance to go to the playoff, and they're going to get propped up because they're in the SEC.
Well, not only this, if this is the one-off, fine. But
Right.
They like if you told me they went 7-5, 8-4 now, if that is the mentality of this team, I'm not surprised. Because it's not a lack of talent; it's a lack of dog.
It's a lack of dog, and that is something
There just has not been there.
that just doesn't exist.
No.
Who's the guy that said we're not afraid? Nick Saban's not walking through that door
Mm-hmm.
to bail you out anymore. And that is true. And it's kind of like, we'll talk about this a little bit tomorrow in jumping from programs and expectations and NFL to college or college to NFL, et cetera. Like, it's really, really hard. But you've lost it. It's absolutely not there. You want to talk about Arch Manning being done for Heisman? Alabama could be done.
Yeah.
Because if DeBoer is this big of a disaster, and I like I said, I was listening this morning, I think
They're
they
not
said
paying him $70 million.
his
to go
buyout's like $70 million. So if he does this again this year and does it again next year, everything Saban built in the 16, 20 years he was there is gone in 3 years. And who's coming in to save the day? Nobody, if they're going to see how DeBoer is being treated.
Well, no, I mean-
because coaches are going to look around, and even though we can sit here and say this is all DeBoer's fault, coaches are going to look around and be like, I don't know if I got 3 years at Alabama under me.
Well, you do for the price tag, but that's the thing is, does Alabama have the money to pay Kalen DeBoer and his staff to go away? You're talking,
I don't think they will this year.
$80 million collectively. That's just to get them to go away, and then what you pay a new staff to come in, and that's. I don't care what institution you are. I don't care how much money Phil Knight has. I don't care how much oil money the Texas schools have. I don't care how much money Michigan or Ohio State has or doesn't have. You just can't throw away basically $100 million. So they're gonna have to ride this out for probably 2 more years.
How do you feel about the Georgia game
Georgia-
for Alabama?
Oh, terrified!
I'm looking at Alabama's schedule right now.
Terrified.
They get Wisconsin at home. All of a sudden, I'm like, that might be must-watch TV.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: Wisconsin
Just to see, they're playing Louisiana Monroe this week.
Yeah, but Wisconsin's picked. They have like the second or third toughest schedule in the country.
I've read first. I've read number 1.
I've seen Florida too.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying.
And I think it's Florida,
yeah.
so I'm with you.
But if all of a sudden Wisconsin is giving you trouble, remember the game last year when they go up there and they just ran the ball down Wisconsin's throat. The physicality was there. The dog was there.
Run the ball.
Yes, that's what they. I mean, Jam Miller just decided I'm going to stunt on you the entire game.
So that's must-watch TV for me, for all Bama fans.
Yeah.
Georgia the next week, don't love that. Fast forward a couple weeks, Tennessee comes into Alabama, don't like that. The next week, the next week Alabama goes on the road to South Carolina, don't like that.
I tell you what, everybody's going to talk about Lenora Sellers of South Carolina. Those South Carolina linebackers, they're something else, man. Those dudes, that's a mutant farm over there. And if you're going to play against that, good luck, because those guys will tear your head off.
Host Tennessee, on the road to South Carolina, host LSU, host Oklahoma, your cupcake at Auburn. You could lose all those games.
Good Lord.
Like, that's the kind of team I saw on Saturday.
You lose the Iron Bowl on top of losing a couple of those.
I mean, we're about to find out here what the rankings are, but I saw somebody posted last night. Do it. I dare you. Rank Auburn ahead of Alabama. They look better.
Alabama does not deserve to be a top 25 team after that performance. They won't fall out because they're Alabama in the SEC. They do not deserve to be a top 25 team.
Is Alabama the team this year?
That does the thing. That
That
falls
does
out
the
of the
thing.
top 10. It happens every year.
You want a week 1 overreaction? Is that the team? Because, look, it's not Notre Dame. It's not Clemson just because they lost. They lost close games. Good games.
Games that they had the opportunity to win.
Totally. I think the teams that won those games deserve to win those games, but they could have won those games. If Cade Klubnik didn't have to run continuously all night, they could have won that
if
game.
they could actually put something together offensively, yeah.
But what if we would have never had that on the bingo card? We'd have never had that. That of all the top 10,
I thought at
who's
worst,
not ranked?
At worst, if things went off the rails, Alabama would be 8-4.
Yeah.
At worst.
Dude, they could lose 4 in a row at the end of the year.
That's what I mean. Now you're again, you're looking at a potential 7-5 season, and that's Alabama pre-Saban.
It just means more.
That's just what it is. I mean,
it just means more.
But this is also
Mike Shula, the coach at Alabama.
the world that we were talked about college football being in. I don't even think this is an overreaction. I think this week played out exactly. We all picked Oregon to win under the 10.5.
Mm-hmm.
With the way the conference and the nation at large looks.
That looks like a pretty bad bet. Oregon could easily win more than 10 games.
Like, and that has nothing to do with Oregon in a sense. It's
everybody else.
Everybody else, and going, my God, the bar has really flattened out. They're the true powerhouses, whether it be team or individual player. Like, who's your Heisman favorite coming out of week 1?
John Mateer. I just made a bet the other day that Dante Moore will get further in a Heisman vote than Castellanos. Like my friend Emily was like, I'll take that Castellanos kid.
But I mean, like,
I was like, we watched one game and you like him for the Heisman?
But I mean, that thing is, college football, the Heisman, everything is so wide open.
And it became more wide open.
In our lifetime, I do not remember college football being this wide open. And yes, it's only 1 week, but usually even after 1 week, there's a team, there's a player, there's something that pops. You go, Travis Hunter, Ashton Jeanty, go through whatever year you want to. There's always somebody. This weekend, it was the last night or the night before, I went into the box scores, the stat leaders across the country. Nobody.
Yeah.
No,
Jeremiah
Smith had more drops against Ohio State in that one game than he had all of last season.
I always look back. I watched this documentary not too long ago, and it's the Heisman race of 97 with Manning, Leaf, and Woodson. Yeah. Charles Woodson didn't show up till kind of later because it was like Peyton's to lose.
But the thing is, like, you also had 2 other guys that were otherworldly out of the gate.
Yeah.
Whereas right now,
I don't know. Some more college football as the AP poll will be released. We'll take a quick peek of that. And I also want to read some thoughts on the text line, 503-864-6326. So send those in, and we'll continue heavy college football day here at The Fan. That's Danny Morang. I'm Patrick Harris, 105.1 The Fan.
Texting and
Now, Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Jeff Rust with your Sports Center update. First on the Fan, the Mariners have lost 3 of their last 4. They continue their road trip, game 2 of 3 at the Rays. 4:35 first pitch on Root Sports. Brian Wu on the bump for Seattle. Drew Rasmussen for Tampa. The M's now 3 games back of the Astros in the American League West and hold only a 1.5 game lead over the Rangers for the final wild card spot. Padres reliever Jason Adam carted off the field Monday and has apparently suffered a ruptured tendon in his left quadriceps. Adam says he still needs to have an MRI, but he's likely out for 6 to 9 months. And over in the NFL, Jackson Dart listed as the number 2 quarterback on the Giants' unofficial first depth chart of the season, whatever that means, behind Russell Wilson and ahead of Jameis Winston. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Recruiting with Andrew Nemec, Thursday evenings at 7 after Isaac and Suk on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
All right, welcome into hour number 2. If you're missing the first hour, you can download that, the Fan Podcast, at 1051thefan.com, the Odyssey app, which you can rewind and go forward, except for into the future, or wherever you get your podcasts. Coming up this hour, we are waiting patiently on the AP to be released, see where things go, who falls, who rises, etc., etc., etc. I'd like to talk about well, we were just talking about it in the break. We'd like to have some real conversation about Clemson LSU, some real conversations about both teams and that game. And then we'll have Wem Gems at 11:45. 503-864-6326. That's the Fan text line. I love this. My takeaway from Bama FSU, and I heard the guys this morning mention it as well, was how good was Penix at UW? Was DeBoer really the best coach that made it happen? It reflects really well on Penix. And I think that's the truth. Look, you got to have players. You have to have players to win games. Not every coach can just win. Some have, and those that have are the select few. You know, Nick Saban can win with a Greg McElroy at quarterback. He can win with a Bryce Young at quarterback. But most of the time, you got to have guys. You know, Urban Meyer had Tim Tebow, all right? Like, that helped a lot. He had Alex Smith at Utah. That helped a lot. And maybe DeBoer is just one of those dudes that if the talent is there, he can do it. But if the talent's not there, maybe he's not the guy.
Poll's officially out.
Well, let me go find it.
It literally came out as we were coming in.
Let me go find it.
Alabama is in the top 25.
Whoa!
They fell
Whoa!
quite precipitously.
Wow.
They fell 13 spots to 21. I think you should have taken them out of the poll entirely.
Wow. Florida State at 14.
Florida State is up to 14.
See, and I think that's the hardest part about that game, if I'm being honest with you. Like, we'll talk LSU Clemson in a moment, but I think that's what's really difficult about that game is I don't know how good Florida State is. I think I know that Alabama is not Alabama.
They're in trouble. And that's the thing is, yes, there's your week one, like
I know that.
5 toes down is and I agree with you because there's always one of these games and one of these kind of higher profile games early in the season. We're like, oh, this team, like, I think we're doing that a little bit with LSU too.
Yeah.
LSU is now ranked third in the nation. They went up 6 spots. They beat Clemson 17-10. Look,
ugly game.
LSU looked better. This whole idea that LSU looks dominant, it's like, I don't know, man. Look, Dabo just had a quote from his press conference of saying, this was a final exam on the first day of school. They got a 65, we got a 58. Neither of us really looked that good.
No.
And I think he's right.
I think he's right. And I want to talk more about that as well. Utah jumping in. I like to see that.
Yeah, good Lord.
Um,
They stuffed UCLA in a locker and locked it, threw it in the ocean, and then buried it 20 feet underground in the Marianas Trench. That was the physicality in that game. That might, you want to, here's your another overreaction. Utah might have the best offensive line in the country.
you might be right. How much money is it? How much money would it cost to get Kyle Whittingham out of Utah?
Oh, he's going nowhere.
I know, and he's going to like retire
Yeah,
either next year or in 2 years.
Some
or-
people said it might be at the end of this year.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you right now, Spencer Fano, the tackle for Utah, as much as there was talk about Caden Proctor and him being a top 5 draft pick or top 10 draft pick, Spencer Fano's the best tackle in football right now.
If Alabama comes calling for Kyle Whittingham,
No way in hell. He wants nothing to do with that.
Texas Tech jumps in, right? They just jumped in. Auburn receiving votes. I wanted to see Auburn ranked ahead of Alabama. That would have been great. I think the other thing to note, which is probably why you can say, because the voters view it as well, that Alabama is in trouble, is look at Clemson and Notre Dame. They didn't fall that far.
No.
They're still in the top 10.
No, I mean, again,
They might have boasted Miami and LSU too much, and we'll get into both those games today or tomorrow, whichever one we get to, but like, they still know those are good teams. It's like Texas fell from 1 to 7. That seems a little steep to
Yeah.
me, but
on the road,
on the road at Ohio
one
State,
score game.
Yeah, but that could be to the testament of you and your concerns about Arch Manning.
Again, I'm not sitting here saying that Arch is going to suck. I'm just saying he's not winning a Heisman. Arch is going to be fine, and I think Texas is going to be fine in the long run. But he's not winning a Heisman this year.
Yeah, I'm always curious how they navigate this because, like, do you move Illinois up? They played nobody and won by 50.
I mean, USC was in the receiving
South Carolina
votes.
jumps to 10 from 13.
I-
They played somebody.
I always like to look at the receiving votes and kind of where they go from kind of week to week. USC, obviously, because I have vested interest in it.
Sure.
They were in the receiving votes last week. I think they were 5th. Now they're
Fourth.
4th. So they bumped up a little bit. Like, those are the ones, like, you'll see a lot of churn in that area, which is interesting because if you look at the back of the poll, there's not a ton of churn. It's like, okay, well, like, to me, the team that probably deserved the biggest rise obviously was Florida State. Outside of that, it's Utah.
Definitely.
Utah, look, I don't care who they played at a Big Ten school in UCLA and beat the ever-living crap out of them. Like, you want to...
Boy, that UCLA team's going to be a rough watch.
They are, but also Utah, if they, again, knock on whatever this is.
Marble.
Yeah, there you go. It's marble. I don't even think it's granite.
Sure. It's at least granite.
It's like particle board.
That's underneath it.
Yeah.
It is a hard surface.
Yeah, there you go. Humbib. Utah, if they can stay healthy, they look like they are poised to be one of those Utah teams. And I'm not talking about like, oh, it's, Alex Smith, #1 team in the country. I'm talking about,
Speaking of beating Alabama.
oh God, I don't want to play this team this week. Like, you see Utah on your schedule and you're going,
It's going to hurt. Like, you might be the better team, but it's going to hurt.
You're going to come out of that and you
not
are
gonna feel
not
good.
going to feel good
It's not
about
gonna
it.
feel good.
And that's Kyle Whittingham to a team, man. Like, that team is a team it doesn't matter. You don't want to play them.
Joel just jumped on the YouTube chat and said it's all an overreaction. That's why the first poll shouldn't come out until after week 4. Do you agree with that?
Generally, yes.
I think so,
because
too.
the polls, there has been a direct, Bartu's talked about this. There is a correlation to seeding and general love for a team or lack thereof, both in preseason polls and in early season polls.
Well, the bias is never richer than the preseason poll.
It's baked in.
I think my only counter to that, and I've heard a lot of people on this station nationally and, at dudes at the bar say this too. The only thing I wish is I want to see the playoff selection committee from the jump.
Yeah.
Because I hate that it just feels like so much bias goes into that by the time they have their first release.
Yeah, because if you want to use the Florida State example, you even with Jordan Travis getting injured, if you've got him as a top 4 team in the country all season long, you can't keep him out.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Well, they don't have their quarterback. They've
Don't
been
care.
a top 4 team in
Don't
the country
care.
all season. What do you
Don't care.
mean?
Don't care. Yeah, if you're a top 4 team in the country, shouldn't you have a competent backup?
something.
I'll tell you what, I know the Ducks have a competent backup.
Yeah,
Why not?
stuff happens. But I do agree in general with Joel there as far as the poll goes. But what will happen is if they actually did that, then there'd be fake polls, and the fake polls would get momentum, and they'd have their juice behind them for whatever reason.
The most impressive performance in college football this weekend was Herb Street's dog on commentary. Of course, he's got like the most gorgeous golden retriever you ever seen.
Herbie too.
Herbie too.
Well, honestly, the most impressive performance was Corso going perfect on his picks.
Yeah, right.
Also, this last texter, I just want to give some love to the text line. Is DeBoer already on a legit hot seat or question mark? I mean, yeah, he's on a massive hot seat, but like
They're not
we
doing anything
mentioned,
with him.
$70 million to buy him out.
Yeah, it's him, Lincoln. I think Venables is pretty big, and then Jonathan Smith was like what 35 million. I was like, whoa, what?
Like, what?
Yeah, I was like,
For that guy?
did they not learn with Mel Tucker?
I think Jimmy Rogers' buyout at Wazoo's like a ham sandwich.
Yeah, right. So there's a couple coaches in the country that has some contracts that are still like okay.
Let's get back into some perception, and I want to go to that LSU Clemson game as we were kind of mentioning. Like, is it Clemson or is it LSU, or can it be neither, or can it be both? 5 toes, each side of the fence, just riding it. 105.1 The Fan. Like we alluded to, the nighttime, the late afternoon slate really kicked into gear. You said your favorite game of the weekend was Miami Notre Dame.
It was the best game of the
Best
weekend.
game of the weekend?
Yeah, it was the best game of the weekend. It wasn't, Ohio State, Texas was not a great game. It was tight, but it was not a great game. Miami Notre Dame was a great game.
Yeah, I really enjoyed, not a great game, but I really enjoyed Clemson LSU.
Again,
I think there's storylines in every game, but for some reason, these storylines are really fascinating to me. Two of the more experienced quarterbacks in all of college football, in Cade Klubnik and Nussmeier. And you've got Dabo going for massive glory. And you got Brian Kelly, who's really got to deliver this year. So you got quarterback drama.
Had a shitty day.
I hope you did too, buddy. You've got quarterback drama. You've got head coach drama. I really wanted to watch it. But what you said in Dabo's comments, that's right. It was an early season test, and both teams failed, but one team got a D+.
you're grading on the curve.
Yeah.
One failed, one passed.
Yeah, and that it was kind of a pass-fail because I don't know how I feel about either of these teams. I know I have the most sympathy for Klubnik. I mean, just watch that last chance opportunity they had, that drive they had to go down the field and potentially score and tie the game. Klubnik was running for his life every time.
And the contrast is
You thought Ty Simpson's O-line was rough. I thought Klubnik had a rough day, and I thought Ty Simpson held on to the ball too long.
Yeah.
I did not think Klubnik did. I thought he had to because he was running.
And that's the thing is you kind of look at this game. Clemson ran the ball 20 times for 31 yards. So where I will give LSU the credit, where everybody's like, oh, they're the best team in the country. I will say, the LSU defense of old is back, baby.
Dude, I was telling you about that guy that was trolling my Alabama fan last night, and then I started chatting with him and his boys. They're all from Louisiana, and I was like, what's it like to have a Saban-type defense again? He goes, boy, it feels good.
They are nasty up front.
Because that was my biggest takeaway is finally LSU has an LSU defense. Because Les Miles had good LSU defenses. Nick Saban did. Even Big O. I know Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and Jefferson and gets all that hoopla from that 19 national title team. But that defense was pretty nice too.
But it's been a while since we've had the Honey Badger teams.
It's felt a while. It's
You know
felt
what I
a
mean?
long time. I mean, Honey Badger retired from the NFL, if you want to put some timestamp on
was
that.
9 years in the NFL?
Something like that,
9 or
yeah.
10?
And so I think that's the best reaction to come out of that game is that LSU's defense is for real.
That's the thing is, and Nussmeier. I mean, neither him nor Klubnik, covered themselves in glory this weekend. Obviously, Nussmeier looked better, but I mean, for the majority of that game, he was just fine.
I don't know if he looked better. I think his offensive line looked better than Clemson's offensive line.
And the LSU had to replace, a top draft pick on one side, another guy went in day 2 or day 3. So. But I think they ended up replacing 4 offensive linemen, I think is what it was. But they looked better than Clemson. But it's a kind of a sliding scale of better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's kind of where I look at that.
Boy, I want to see these two teams play again.
Yeah?
I do.
You know what, though? As much as
I do. I think you could play this game 100 times and it might be 50-50.
Yeah, I think you're right. As much as nobody wants to give Brian Kelly his credit.
Me, right here.
I'm
I
with
do
you.
not want to give Brian Kelly any sort of credit.
Brian Kelly doesn't like Brian Kelly. Come on.
Even your mama don't like you.
But he talked to some junk about going into Death Valley Jr. and went out there and won.
God, I'm here for all of it.
Look, I will say this. There was quite a bit of bulletin board material across college football, and everybody delivered.
I know.
I love that. I love that. Talk your ass, go out there and back it up.
I know. People talked S and they didn't get smacked around for it.
I love it. I love it. It's look, and they did it before the game. It's Michael Jordan. Anybody can talk ass when you're winning.
Yeah.
When you're losing or it's 0-0, that's when you know. Because again, Florida State is the king of the castle. Castellanos went out there and just wheelbarrowed him around and said,
Randy Marsh style.
Yeah, watch this. And then he went out there and did it. And so, I mean,
really the only, and it wasn't really bulletin board material of the weekend that didn't deliver. It's just Arch, really.
And it wasn't him. Sark didn't do him any favors.
No, I don't. But Arch isn't the one talking
No,
trash.
no.
Castellanos is the one that's talking trash. Brian Kelly's the one that's talking trash.
I like it. South Carolina
it.
was a little chippy, and then they went out there and it was got a little tight, but they took care of business.
Old Beamer Jr. and
buddy,
not wanting to beat Dad Pops' program.
turning down the penalty and making him repunt, and then getting the punt return with Dad on the sideline. He's like, "Oh, Beamer ball, baby!"
I liked that.
Like
a
that
lot.
was
I
that
liked
was
that a
dope.
lot. Dan Lanning had that same call. He made him repunt. They blocked it. Yeah.
Special teams was a decider in quite a few games. I should say decider.
Well, plus that first punt was a boomer.
Oh God, yeah, because that one pinned him inside the inside the 15?
Yeah, like right on the sideline.
Yeah,
and,
it was like, oof, that's tough. But yeah, no, it's there were some fun storylines that come out of this weekend, and as far as the games went, again the Notre Dame Miami game, and look, man, you want to talk about the little things mattering. CJ Carr not getting up the line and spiking the ball, and at least giving them a chance to go for the Hail Mary. Cristobal opting to kick the field goal instead of trying to get the first down. He went Super Mario in the red zone and tried to run the ball. And Notre Dame said, fine, we're going to put 9 in the box. Good luck.
Yeah, I think those 4 teams, LSU, Miami, the winners, Clemson, Notre Dame, the losers. I think those 4 to me are the biggest question marks. Like looking at the AP poll and seeing how things realign, I think those 4 teams are the ones that I have the biggest question marks on. We'll get to Texas, Ohio State in the final hour, and they have questions for sure. Ohio State, I'm looking at you. I got a lot of questions for you, despite winning that game. I just think those were heavy hitters that had to play week 1. If LSU goes to the playoff and loses in the first round, I'm not going to be shocked. If Clemson goes to the playoff and wins a natty, I'm not going to be shocked.
No.
The other way around, I'm not going to be shocked. That's why I wish I could watch it again.
Yeah. And
Wish I
now
could see it again.
week 2 in college football, not great. Great.
No. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll just replay these games and pretend, be like, oh my God, Klubnik, throw the ball! Throw the ball!
It's a smart broadcasting standpoint because it's week 1 of the NFL. It's like, all right, go ahead. Here's our poo-poo platter. We all know you're here for the NFL.
Dude, we tried to go through this and tried to convince ourselves on some games.
2 games that I have
We're like,
interest in.
Illinois Duke, and I'm like,
Like I said, Illinois Duke is one of them. Iowa State, the Cyhawk game.
I was
the
like,
other one.
Baylor SMU?
Like maybe. It's an aperitif.
Iowa State. I mean, the game is Michigan at Oklahoma.
Well, we'll see. I mean, you saw the suspension was upheld for Barnum, right?
I did.
That is the most egregious targeting call I've ever seen in my life.
It's pretty bad.
Also,
Oklahoma State at Oregon.
Yeah, well,
We'll talk to Tyson Alger.
Speaking of talking ass.
Speaking of talking ass, boy, you better back that up. Because right now you are favored to lose by 28.5 according to ESPN. I don't know what it is up at A&A. Yeah, maybe week 2 is not the week to talk S. Maybe not.
No, you got to do it when you're down. You got to do it when you're down. You can't do it when you're ahead.
Can't do it when you're ahead.
I mean, you can, but then you're corny.
Yeah, and you just seem like front runners.
Look, Jordan was insane and a bit of a giant a-hole.
Yeah.
He's not wrong.
You're not wrong. He rarely was wrong.
You got to talk your ass when it's either you're down or you're tied.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it don't count.
Good little week 1.
Got to slap it on the board, man.
Yeah, good little week 1.
Can't be 5 toes.
I don't know what kind of bulletin board material I could give you.
I don't think
Like if we're battling.
I don't think you're capable.
It's like
of
tomorrow is the day. Danny Meringue versus Patrick Harris.
We're going Oklahoma drill. You talking S?
I don't know what my bulletin board material would be for you. I don't know what you could say to me that would get me all riled up.
Line you up, meet you in the hole, baby. We'll put the pads down each side of the office.
Danny might surprise you.
All right, when we come back, we'll take a look around the Pacific Northwest, and let me tell you what. Some late night games for some local teams were not a very fun watch. We'll get to that next, but first we'll toss it to Russ with sports.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This update brought to you by Mountaintop Metal Roofing. No maintenance, energy efficient, fire resistant, and a lifetime warranty. Do it once, do it right. Visit mountaintopmetalroofing.com. First on the Fan, this week's AP Top 25 poll is out. Ohio State, your new number 1. After beating then number 1 Texas, Penn State, LSU, Georgia, Miami round out the top 5, with Oregon moving up to number 6 after taking care of business against Montana State. Texas falls from 1 to 7. The Mariners have lost 3 out of 4. They continue their road trip, game 2 of 3 at the Rays, 4:35 first pitch on Root Sports. Brian Wu on the bump for Seattle, Drew Rasmussen for Tampa. The M's now 3 games back of the Astros in the American League West, and they hold only a 1.5 game lead over the Rangers for the final wild card spot. Padres reliever Jason Adam carted off the field Monday. Apparently has suffered a ruptured tendon in his left quadriceps. Adam says he still needs to have an MRI, but he's likely out 6 to 9 months. And Jackson Dart listed as the number 2 quarterback on the Giants' quote-unquote unofficial first depth chart of the season, behind Russell Wilson and ahead of Jameis Winston. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Your home for Seahawks football. The Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
I love this song so much, dude. Short People, Randy Newman, that's my guy.
You know, Randy Newman is underrated.
He's my guy, dude.
Vastly underrated. Even taking into account, the Toy Story stuff. But
Right.
Vastly
I
underrated.
got a couple of his records at home, and he's just so fantastic. We'll get to Web Gems here in a moment, but a reminder, Football Talk on the Fan, presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much these days, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday on CBS and Paramount Plus all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. How was your Pac-12 After Dark?
Quite nice.
It made me feel real good.
I mean,
It made me feel
West Coast time slots, baby.
Made me feel normal.
Sure.
However, the football that I watched was not great.
Oh, it was atrocious.
I was at this place in Vancouver with the homies. We were at a Wazoo alumni bar, and there were probably it's a big place, probably 30 people in there. Maybe 10 of us were Wazoo,
Oh, there you go.
which is real sad. At a Wazoo alumni bar, opening game,
I mean,
Wazoo football was really, really rough to watch. There was a table not far from us. Those guys were all in Husky garb. Look, the first half of that game against Colorado State, that wasn't pretty either. Colorado State kind of had their way a little bit. UW was the better team and
Yeah.
pulled away late. But in the first half, I was kind of like, Colorado State.
you were really hoping for
And
that.
then I was like, oh no, we play them in 3 weeks.
Yeah. Because your Cougs pulled a Oregon there with Idaho, and it was
Dude,
dicey.
Zeviak House didn't start, which came to a surprise to all of us. And it was Potter, and he played the whole game, and you're just like, okay, all right, here we go. But it wasn't fun. I think, and then I looked up at the TV and saw because they had a bunch of TVs, and I saw the one that had UCLA and Utah on it, and I went, oh God, what'd UCLA do to them?
Snuff film.
What did they do to them? The hardest game to watch for me of the whole weekend of all the games was the Oregon State game. It was very challenging because
They looked bad.
they looked really bad.
I said going into that game,
I know, and
outside of
I
the
didn't
big
wanna-
games, the one I was interested in most was Oregon State Cal because people were like, oh, Oregon State should take care of business. And I'm just like,
And
are you sure? Because I don't think so.
I didn't believe you at all. And it's not because I thought I didn't quite buy into the 8-9 wins of Oregon State, but I thought they'd be better than last year for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And as a Kook fan, I worry about playing them twice because I don't want to lose to them twice. I came out of that game going, man, dude, I feel not great about my team. I worry about this Oregon State team. I know it's one game, but you want to talk an overreaction? You want to 10 toes down?
Mm-hmm.
I think this Oregon State team might be really bad.
There's a chance. And here's the thing. Because it got off the rails so
I know
early.
I said I think and maybe, but
I know.
I think maybe this team is really bad.
Stinky.
Yeah. Because the game got off the rails so fast, I think they had to scrap every bit of their game plan pretty quickly. And
Yeah.
they aren't a team that I look at, particularly without Clemens, that is a team that's going to look to get explosives.
I think a lot of it boils down to Trent Bray's not the guy.
Well, I tell you this, JKS looked like one of the best quarterbacks in the country last night, or Saturday night.
Yeah, remember we were laughing. The guys had Doc Parker on, and he was making the joke that just anybody that can throw the ball is going to be better than last year. That quarterback play was not better.
No, well, that's the thing is without having Clemens to have a guy
That feels like an excuse to me, though.
Oh, look, there's two parts of it. Number one, their offensive line. Again, referencing that same interview when Doc came on, that was the question. This offensive line, is it going to be there? And it did not look like it's going to be there because Murphy was not able to get through progressions. They didn't have anybody that Cal really respected. They could not run the ball. Hankerson was less than 3 yards a carry.
15 carries, 42 yards, 2.8 a carry.
And if you take the 14-yarder out of that, that's 14 carries for 28 yards. I mean, but also
Not good, Bob.
No, but they were also behind so fast, so early. I mean, it was 17-0, or did Oregon State get the field goal before?
I think it was 17-0.
Yeah, it was 17-0. Like it was like, oh no, because this is not a team that's built to play from behind. This is a Get in the RPO game, ground and pound, chew the clock, limit possessions, keep a game score close, and then hit a couple big plays off the play action or break something big, get the explosives out of the RPO game. Let Murphy use his legs and extend plays. But when the game all of a sudden is now you're chasing points and you don't have your best weapon on the outside and you can't run the ball because your offensive line is not what it needs to be, then you start worrying very quickly.
Murphy had one run of 11 yards. That's it. The legs weren't there. The arm wasn't there.
Yeah.
It's disheartening.
Yeah. And Oregon State's defense, I mean, you were hoping that, guys like Taylor and Davis would be big-time players for them, and that was a rough game.
I mean, Trent Walker had 9 catches for 136 yards. I had a feeling that they would lean on him being the guy that came back and the guy that is most comfortable in this offense. You got a receiver who's got almost 10 catches and 130 yards? That's pretty damn good.
Sure. But also you were chasing those, and they were basically playing soft coverage, saying, go ahead and have this.
They're empty stats at the end of the day.
If you look at it, like one of the things in the box score that I always look at defensively is, all right, how many snaps were you on the field? Not necessarily, individual player, but like team-wise. Cal ran 69 plays. Nice. 4 negative plays. 4 negative plays. Oregon State had 4 TFLs.
And I thought you were
no sacks.
I thought you were putting your hands back on the defense too.
You know what I mean? Like, remember Trent Bray's taking over the defense. He's gonna be the defensive coordinator. He's gonna be calling that side of the ball. And it's like you did not have any disruption. JKS, a true freshman, went out there and carved you up.
Balled out.
Carved you up. You should have been the team that, with a upperclassman laden defense, an experienced defensive coordinator in Bray, a guy who knows how to disguise coverages. I remember Caleb Williams going up to Reeser and it being nightmare fuel for him.
Yep.
Absolutely unadulterated nightmare fuel for him, because Trent Bray was just changing everything up, giving him so many different looks and being so disruptive to a young quarterback that was significantly more touted than JKS and looking subhuman on the football field. And you didn't see any of that against a true freshman making his first start, making his first throws ever in college football. He looked like, again, one of the best quarterbacks in the country. And I'm not saying he was. I'm saying his production was so prolific compared to all the other quarterbacks across the country this week, that if that is all, unless JKS just turns out to be one of those dudes,
right?
Which he could be. He was a highly touted prospect.
Yeah.
But first start, I mean, you should be putting him on his heels, not the other way around.
And I think this is what I'm trying to allude to, is that, look, Cal's program is not in a great spot. Okay? It's in a better spot than Oregon State or Washington State for sure, because they have a seat at a table. But Cal's program is not in an awesome spot.
God, no. They're broke.
They're broke. Wilcox, they seem to just like him, so he hangs around. I mean, he's a nice guy, smart dude, but he hasn't done a whole lot there.
He doesn't have a ton to work with because, again, A, they're broke, and B, Cal football is just falling off a cliff.
But show me a head coach and show me someone who's not a head coach. That's Wilcox is. Trent Bray isn't.
Yeah, that might just be the case.
I think that might just be the case. And that pains me to say. I hate talking to S on the Beavs because, they're my brother from another mother.
The kindred spirit, as it were.
Yeah, like we're homies. And, I got a lot of friends that went to Oregon State. But, look, I came out. I watched that game, and I was watching some of that game while I was watching my game, and I, stopped looking.
It was hard to watch.
It was hard to watch.
Because it felt like it was over very quickly.
And it was over, and it shouldn't be. Like, if Oregon State goes to Eugene and it's 24-0 at the end of the first quarter, we kind of saw that coming.
This is Cal.
But it's 17 zip.
With a true freshman quarterback.
It's 17 zip, and you're at home.
Yeah. This just...
I walked out of my game thinking, man, Wazoo, dude, this is going to be a long season. Very frustrated. I've seen us play Idaho many, many times.
You got the win, but do you feel good about it?
Oh, God, no. I feel terrible. I've seen us play Idaho maybe 8 times in my life, 8 to 10 times. It used to be like an every other year thing. And 42-13, 56-21, just absolute bludgeonings.
Yeah. And this one, you got it by the skin of your teeth.
And I walked out going, oh, man, I do not feel good. And then I got home and saw the final score of the Oregon State game, and I said, boy, I'm not that,
Despite
I guess.
the score, who looked worse, Washington State or Oregon State?
I think it's Oregon State.
Again, level of competition
A lot
factored in,
higher,
but-
yeah. Like I
But
think
still-
I think there's a good chance that we still go 0-2 against Oregon State.
Mhm.
I still think they can beat us twice, even up in Pullman. But I feel better about my team than I do about Oregon State. And I think that's a really, really tough spot to be in.
I don't really know how you get out of that. Because
Uh,
Washington State is in a bad spot. Chris Vanini does the top 136 teams in football
mhm.
every week, which Washington State was 87th. I'm just looking at that going,
Duck Hurts.
Okay.
holy crap.
All right.
Somebody got to be there.
All right.
Yeah, but like you're below like Maction teams.
Hell yeah, brother.
Conference USA teams.
Dude, we're going on
It's
the
like-
road to James Madison to lose by 21.
I mean, that might be generous.
Right? Fresno State for the Oregon State Beavers coming up. You got to turn this around because then you get Texas Tech on the road, Oregon on the road,
All of a sudden,
Houston
that-
at home,
that
and all of a
Tech game
sudden,
looks terrifying.
terrifying.
I will say this. This holds true for everybody in college football. You are not who you are after week 1.
That is the truth. Hold on to that.
But it can get worse.
It can get worse.
It can always get worse.
Boy,
That's the thing you have to remember. It can always get worse.
Boy, I hope it doesn't get worse for those guys.
Mm.
My
That's
brothers.
Danny's life motto.
My brothers.
It's true.
My brothers. All right, we come back. Web Gems, everybody's favorite. 105.1 The Fan.
Sometimes it's good.
Aw, I've interrupted happy time.
Sometimes it's bad.
Oh, son of a...
It's Web Gems,
What'd you do?
the firm of Harris and Meringue on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 and 1080 The Fan.
All right, this is Web Gems. Do it every single day at 11:45, 503-864-6326. Someone after my own heart. Oregon almost lost to Idaho. Last year ended up number 1 in the playoffs. WSU has passed the Idaho test. They're going to the playoffs. You heard it here.
In the FCS? You ready to play North Dakota and South Dakota State? Tell you what, though,
You're so close.
North Dakota put the fear of God in Kansas this weekend. Holy crap.
I love that so much.
Shout out UND.
I love that so much.
I lived in Grand Forks for a couple years. I got nothing but love for UND. That was when it got close there at the end. I'm like, are they gonna do this? Oh my God. It's not App State, Michigan, but it's not that either.
No. I did get to tell the story of App State, Michigan this weekend.
To all the Michigan family members you have.
Yeah.
Is that what you want to do? Is that your throw a grenade into the family gathering? Hey, you guys remember App State? And just walk out.
I think I was at a wedding that weekend, at that time, and went, "Oh, are you kidding me?"
Yeah, I had a buddy text me after the Army game went final, and he's like, "Don't look at the scores." I was out golfing, and I had checked all the scores, and I'm like, "Oh God, what happened?" And I scroll through, and I see the Army score, and I immediately knew what he was talking about. And he was like, "Oh, that's right, you're Air Force, not Army," because I wear the Army polo from the Army-Navy game all the time. And I'm like, no. I'm Air Force, but if it comes down to Army and Navy, I rock with Army because the Air Force came out of the Army Air Corps. So that's like in between those two prestigious institutions. Give me the Army over those grubby, water-bearing, nasty people.
You know what? I might be pretty worried if I'm Kansas State.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe, schedule something other than literally anything after coming back from Ireland, a bye week. That's the thing. If you go play overseas in the opening week, you should get an additional bye week. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Iowa
No,
State and Kansas
absolutely.
State, you take week 1 off. Like, you go get your time zones and just settle down. Because if they had lost, Avery Johnson's dad and brother are getting in another fight in the parking lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
Dude, they might have gotten a fight anyway.
right? I mean, good gravy.
I'm the only one
man.
who every time I hear Avery Johnson, all I can think about is the
little general.
Talking ball.
Oh, yeah.
We can talk some basketball.
Yeah. Look, man, it's the little general.
Yeah. Former point guard of the San Antonio Spurs.
Talks like this.
Talks like this.
Oh, it's good. I think he's from Alabama.
Oh, is he?
If I remember right. He's from the South, yeah.
I actually watched Lee Corso's final moments on game day.
Oh, buddy.
I'm not a big game day guy.
Waterworks.
Yeah. I did not cry.
Oh, I didn't get them running down the face. The eyes welled up, and I didn't think I was going to get that way. But I definitely look. I hate Ohio State with a fiery passion of 1,000 suns. Spelling out Corso, pretty
classy.
damn cool.
Pretty classy.
Pretty damn cool, man.
There was no way he wasn't picking Ohio State,
No.
correct?
Going and picking Florida State.
The balls on that man. I was like, look at this crazy old man.
As a reminder, Lee Corso played at Florida State.
And coached.
He is tied with Deion Sanders for most interceptions all time at Florida State.
Really?
That was one of the stats they brought up with 12, and I went, what?
That's
Lee
amazing.
Corso got down like that? That one was the one where I went, that's nuts. Are you kidding me?
That's amazing.
But the whole production around it. Yeah, it was nuts. And, it was very fitting that the first hat he ever put on was Brutus the Buckeye.
Brutus the Buckeye.
And then putting it on again, going 100% in his picks, picking Ohio State, picking
That's
Florida
the way
State.
to go. He went perfect on his last weekend.
I
He
can't
went
remember
perfect.
I can't remember his exact numbers, but he had like a 65 or 70% winning percentage on his picks all time, and I'm like, God dang! If you think about that, if you just played Lee Corso's picks every week in betting, how good you would have done.
Would you have?
Well, he picked like 65 or
Well,
70%
65
winners.
Yeah, that's
That's
good.
insane number.
That's good.
You're
I'm-
hoping for 51%.
Yeah.
That's all you want. is
I'm not a betting
51%.
man, and even we're not even talking Jerry DePoto and 54%.
No. If you were picking like that, goodness gracious.
I was happy for him.
No, it couldn't have gone off
When
better.
he started doing the chop for Florida State, I was like, this man's arm's going to fall off.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, he's what, 92? I think that's right.
He old.
Yeah.
And then I had to flip over to Fox to start watching that game, which we'll get to coming up here. And God, I hate the big noon kickoff.
90.
Yeah.
I hate those guys. I'm so mad that Reggie's not at the
Right.
desk anymore.
That whole production is just, it's not good.
Yeah, I mean, Herb is.
It's awful.
Herb is so brutal.
Yeah.
And then I heard it in Brady Quinn's voice. I was like, yeah, I don't like you either.
Yeah. See, I told you.
Yeah.
Look, man, it's that institution.
I like Leinart, though.
Yeah, he's a fun guy.
I like Matt.
Fun guy.
I want to hang out with Matt.
I mean,
Did you see the little video of his daughter asking about him as a quarterback?
They asked Alexa, and he was like, one of the most prolific college quarterbs of all time,
And he's
national
like,
champion winner, Heisman Trophy winner, although his NFL career was not great. And he's just like, in my own house. Like, God dang. And his wife's filming it all. It's just like, oof. He just looks at it, and then,
We have the sound.
do we have it?
We have the sound.
Oh, play
Oh,
it.
do you?
Yeah, let's play
Oh,
this.
we have the sound. Oh, except,
Hmm?
hang on. Wait, I got it. Hang on. There
Sure,
we go.
but there-
Alexa, who's Matt Leinart?
From NewSports.com. Matt Leinart was a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback at USC and a top 10 NFL draft pick, but his pro career didn't amount to much.
And then right into some K-pop Demon Hunter.
Yikes. Oh well.
Wow, Alexa's rough. Damn.
Followed right up by basically, you're my soda pop, my little soda pop.
Just like,
Is that what
oof.
one of those K-pop songs is?
That is,
Yeah.
yes. That's from the K-pop Demon Hunter.
Hey, that wasn't
movie.
too bad. That just sounded like a pop song.
Welcome to K-pop. Just mass production ear mush.
And welcome to all the crap that I hear at home.
Mm-hmm.
How do you not hear that, Patrick?
I don't know. Lucky
Your
me, I
kids
guess.
are
I'm
my
gonna
age,
go.
or my kid's age?
I'm gonna just start leaking all that stuff to the kids and be like, "Here you go, bring this home to mom and dad."
I'll text Grace. I'll ask her today. I'll see if she knows the K-pop Demon Slayer.
Demon Hunter.
K-pop
Demon-
Demon Hunter, yes.
K-pop
Yeah.
Demon Hunter.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll ask.
You're my soda pop.
When we
My
come
little soda pop.
when we come back, let's get to the big games. All right, let's get to Ohio State, Texas. How that played out. There's a lot to get to with that. Plus, I want to have that larger QB conversation of how QBs performed over the weekend. Plus, we'll have closing arguments, and we'll send you on your day. Loaded third hour. Hang out with us. We're having a good time. 105.1 The Fan.
I'm Chelsea
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Jeff Rust with your Sports Center update. First on the Fan, this week's AP Top 25 poll is out. Ohio State, your new number one after beating then number one Texas. Penn State, LSU, Georgia, Miami round out the top five. Oregon moving up to number 6 after taking care of business against Montana State. Texas falls all the way from number 1 to 7. Alabama now tumbling all the way from 8 to 21, their lowest spot in 17 seasons. That, of course, is after losing to Florida State, who are now number 14 after previously being unranked. The Mariners have lost 3 of 4. They continue their road trip. Game 2 of 3 at the Rays. 4:35 first pitch on Root Sports. Brian Wu on the bump for the M's. Drew Rasmussen for the Rays. Seattle now 3 games back of Houston in the AL West, and they hold only a 1.5 game lead over Texas for the last wild card spot. In the NFL, Jackson Dart listed as the number 2 quarterback on the Giants' unofficial first depth chart of the season, behind Russell Wilson and ahead of Jameis Winston. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of prime time with Isaac and Sue. Weekdays 3 to 7. The Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM. The firm of Harris and Meringue. Patrick Harris, look.
All right, 2 outs, 1 to go. Right here on the firm. You can always check the podcasts if you didn't catch any of it. We got those up. They'll be up for you to enjoy at your leisure. You can also rewind on the Odyssey app or the YouTube page. Come hang out. We're having a lot of fun here. Today's been a good day.
Look, ball's back, man.
Ball is back.
It's fun.
And we got NFL this weekend.
We mean this weekend. Thursday.
Oh, yeah, Thursday and Friday, right? Isn't there a
Thursday
Brazil game?
through Tuesday.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. What's on Tuesday?
There's a Tuesday game. I thought I saw.
Maction's back already?
Yeah, I thought we had football on Tuesday.
Brother.
I was looking at my schedule and I thought I had something on my Tuesday.
Something. I have an appointment on my
I
Tuesday.
think we did. There was something on there. I was
On
like,
my Tuesday.
Sunday, Monday.
Let's see here.
did we-
I don't think so, dude. I think it's just Saturday.
Well, maybe.
I think it's just
Yeah,
Saturday.
maybe.
Well, we got
see.
there's a Friday game.
I don't know.
I don't know either. We'll look at
I
it
had
later.
something. It's
But then the NFL. So we'll chat about some
so far
NFL.
away.
We'll chat about some NFL this week as we lead up to that. We're kind of big college football today. We'll be a little big college football tomorrow. We'll have Tyson Alger on tomorrow at 10:30 to join us, as he will every single Wednesday during Ducks football season. And that's a reminder, you can catch all Ducks action right here on the home of the Ducks, 105.1 The Fan and the Fan Sports Network, all over the place for everything. We got Ducks Insider. We got the Coaches Show. We've got Roundtable, pregame, postgame. So we're here for all of your Ducks needs, including Ducks Insider at 1 o'clock today.
Had the first Duck game on the FM.
Yeah, that's kind
Yeah.
of fun. And then we'll have the happy hour with Luke Anderson from 2 to 3, and then primetime from 3 to 7 to take you all the way home. 13 hours continuous local coverage. You know, there was a big game this weekend that we didn't talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the beginning of my concern for my day.
Oh.
For I watched that game every second, every play, every snap, every commercial, and went, good God, what am I into? That was Texas, Ohio State.
Was not good football.
It was not good football. But what I will say, coming out of it and like watching some more games and looking back and hypothesizing and thinking about how I felt, those two might be two of the best defenses in the nation.
Well, yeah.
We kind of knew that, but then I saw it in the flesh.
Going to that game, I expected Ohio State to struggle offensively, and they did mightily.
They did.
it might have been Pate. It might have been Cover 3. I can't remember what podcast I was listening to this week when I was driving around. And they basically said some version of, if you had gone to Sark and told him that going into that game, Ohio State's going to score 14 points and they're going to barely have 200 total yards of offense, Sark's going, we win by 2+ scores.
Yep.
Because that what you got out of Ohio State was what I expected. I expected them to have a brand new quarterback in there, them trying to figure things out on that side of the ball, and that Texas's defense was very legit. What Ohio State did was they capitalized at just the right times. And what
I agree.
Texas did not do until the very end was capitalize, because, my God, the play calling was so passive. Like, this is not an all Arch thing. Sark deserves some of the blame here, too.
I think Sark deserves a lot of the blame.
But also, Charlie checked down at quarterback. Goodness gracious,
I
Arch.
agree. I think the
Push the ball down the field once. Like, Texas's wide receivers were not doing a great job of getting separation.
they were not.
But for the love of God, when Sark scripts you, your first play is a play action pass, or you've got a guy butt naked, wide open, and you can get a 20-yard chunk play, very similar to what North Carolina did with Belichick. Run the ball heavy, first 2 carries, 9 yards, 9 yards. Next play, Gio Lopez, boom, big playoff play action. You went, yeah, that looks good. Arch has that opportunity, has a wide receiver wide open. Whack, 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 whack. Just throws a complete duck 5 yards short of the wide receiver, and you're going, the hell was that?
I know. I thought the Wingo kid, wide receiver for Texas, was going to be what bailed Arch out all game.
Trey?
No, not Trey Wingo. Ryan Wingo, his younger brother, had 2 catches for 35 yards.
Yeah, nobody.
One was a 28-yard pass.
Well, the leading wide receiver had 50 yards. 50 yards.
Like, bro, you got to get the ball to your peeps. I think I before we get into the goods of Ohio State, we'll stay here in Texas. Arch played bad. I'm not out on him as much as you are.
I'm not out on him. I'm out on him for Heisman.
I don't know if I'm not out on him for Heisman yet. I think you can have a bad game because I think that Ohio State defense might be the best D-line in the country.
No, I don't know about that.
But they might be.
Okay.
They look that good. But I am with you. Charlie check down, throwing the ball at receivers' feet. And it's so strange. We were talking about this before we started the show. I thought Arch looked really poised. Like, I thought he looked comfortable, confident back there. Offensive line gave him some time.
Moved around the pocket. Well.
He didn't seem ginchy. He didn't seem,
He also didn't take the ball and run. Arch is, as a prospect, wasn't because he's back there with the world's biggest and best arm. He's got a good arm. He's supposed to be accurate. I don't know how he can be accurate with those mechanics. Good Lord. There was a couple times where it looked like he was rebooted mid-throw. It was like Windows crash. But what makes him special and or different is that he is athletic.
Oh, yeah. Extremely.
And you never got to see him get outside the pocket or run any designed run. Like, I get it. You don't want to get him hit. You don't want to get him hurt. You want to limit the amount of times he's getting touched. I get all that. But you also want to use that athleticism. Bo Pribula at Missouri. Did you see him get loose? Goodness gracious. Like, I knew he was an athlete. I didn't know he was that good of an athlete. He's pulling away from guys, and I went, damn, white boy can run. Like, it was a stark contrast because, look, we don't get guys that are that quick all that often.
No. And
when he took off on a couple of his designed runs and a couple extended plays, he was pulling away from guys, and I was like, oh God, is this the quarterback version of who's the corner for the Eagles? The Iowa kid. Totally blanking. Not Blankenship. Cooper DeJean.
Oh, the Super Bowl hero?
Yeah. But also, he's one of them ones as an athlete.
Yeah.
Pribula has got kind of like one of those things where you're like, oh, we got one that's different.
How much of the blame for Arch goes on Sark?
It's not 50-50.
I was going to say 50-50.
Yeah, because Arch...
I mean, Arch is the guy that's throwing the passes, so it ultimately lands on you.
But I don't... part of me wants to give Sark some credit because what he was trying to do early on was give him some real easy gimmies to get it going.
And I loved
Arch didn't deliver.
I love the cojones on him for going for it on fourth down multiple times, but then it just brought up the narrative again of his red zone offense being just trash. And if he would have kicked a couple field goals, you're looking, it's 13-14
and
right
all of a
now.
sudden the pucker factor's on saying
For sure.
And look,
'Cause
that
we'll get to Ohio State in a minute, but like
the tush push, that Arch got
smoked on. He's a big dude. I
He
thought the
got
whole
knocked
point
backwards.
I thought the whole point was that he's going to push you over the edge.
There was another game this weekend. It was like, it might have been an FCS or might have been an FCS game. Oh, it was a Canadian Football League game. There was a tush push where the quarterback moved the entire pile like 3 yards. And I was like, who is this dude? Like,
That guy can squat.
you saw linebackers get bounced back out of the hole, and I went, whoa! Texas did not get the push in the red zone at all. And
No.
that was eyebrow raising.
I think the reason I go 50-50, and I'll end you with this, I think the reason I go 50-50 on blaming Sark for Arch's issues is Arch is still a kid with not many starts, not many reps under his belt, and he's at the horseshoe week 1.
And Texas was
It's kind of
able-
like what's the quote that Dabo said?
Yeah.
We both took a final on the
Yeah.
first day of the class, and we both failed.
Again, I'm not out on Texas. I'm not out on Arch.
I know.
No,
I know. I think I'm trying to
Yeah.
squarely 10 toes down say that I think this loss is on Sark. I don't think it's on Arch. I think Arch didn't play well, and I think that does ultimately land on him. But
I think I'd go the other way
but
because
Sark got outcoached, and he's making dumb decisions again. And
that part of it, yes, but I also thought in the early goings, and if you want to say where you want to grade Sark on the negative side of the curve, the lack of adjustment. I think he started out being mildly aggressive, temperate aggressiveness,
couple
and then
couple fourth down,
then
go
he
for it. So do it for you.
But I mean, he dialed it way back in the mid game, and then
he got scared,
and then he got super aggressive in the red zone in the goal line situations, and came out with nothing. And it was just like,
And
it just felt like. Here's the flip side of it, though. If they do convert, if they get that touchdown, everybody's singing Sark's praises.
Oh, for sure.
About how gutsy he is and how brilliant it is. He went for this. He put it on the line. But that's the thing is, you're either the goat or the goat. You know what I mean? And that's kind of where that falls. And I think if you're going to make that call, you clearly have trust in Arch. And he didn't deliver. So that's why I kind of put it more on Arch.
I think I want one spot where Arch takes after both of his uncles. He has got that Manning face down.
Without a doubt, dude. Without a doubt. He looks just like Eli.
He has got that Manning
That
face
Manning
down.
pout.
Just, yeah.
Eli was famous for it.
Yeah.
Boy, I just lost it.
And it's gone.
I'm sorry. My apologies.
It's okay.
It happens.
Okay. Oh, I think what it
There's
is.
a pill for that.
I need to see Sark be consistent in what he's going to do. Are you going to be aggressive? Be aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be aggressive and then pull yourself back and then try to be aggressive again. Like, I don't think the kids are going to respond that way. I think you got to have an identity. And if your identity is smart and then you're aggressive in certain spots, be smart. But it didn't feel like it was aggression in smart spots. It felt like, this isn't working, so I got to change. This isn't working, so I got to change. And that's why I didn't like it.
I think they were aggressive when they needed to be, but they were aggressive in the wrong ways. Does that make
Fair.
sense?
Totally. Makes total sense. I don't know how I feel about Texas.
I still think they're one of the 5 best teams in the country. Like, that defense
I would
is
probably agree.
nasty. Again, Ohio State, yardage-wise, they ran for 77 yards on 34 carries, and Sayin threw for $126.
And let's get into that. Let's look at Ohio State. They are the victor of this game, but boy, it felt like just weighed them out in attrition. We'll get to that next. 105.1 The Fan.
ever been to a volcano?
If you ever want to know behind the scenes, it never stops with Danny. We were talking top 25 NBA prospects
my
of
guys,
the last 25 years.
My guys at No Ceilings, they did their like kind of like redraft the top 25 prospects the last 25 years. And for the most part, I agree with the list, but they had Chet Holmgren 14. I'm like, no. No.
And I looked at Danny and I was like, I don't know, man. Chet was pretty highly touted out of college. And he looks at me and he goes, Dwight Howard is below him.
I was like, no,
damn it.
absolutely not.
I went, damn it, you're right.
Like, no.
So if you want to know the psychopath over here, the hoops never stop with him.
No.
Never.
Those are all my guys. So I'm literally like texting and tweeting at Tyler right now.
It's all because I was peeking on your Twitter timeline and I saw a Smokey meme from Friday because I love Smokey.
Because he replied with
how are you gonna get fired on your day off?
Yeah, it's the gist of it is because I had the original response was. I would have number 1 Odin higher than 6 because
I mean it was insane. It was huge.
He had a
broken hand and he was still going number 1.
Yeah, I mean defensively, the only prospect in my lifetime that goes past Odin is Wemby. That is it.
And it was at a time when the West was loaded in centers and people needed centers. But
not even that. You drop Greg Oden in any era, he's the most dominant defensive prospect of the last 40 years.
You can't do this.
With the exception
I know.
of
Are we?
Wemby.
Is this what we're getting into?
I brought it up. It's my fault. I brought it up.
It's okay because I'm on the same thing. Like that was the correct pick. That was.
I brought it up.
The other one on here. We'll get out of it. I'll stop at this. Is they had Joel Embiid on the honorable mentions, and I could not stand for that. Joel Embiid had 3 medical red flags and still went number 3.
Yeah.
Okay. That happens with literally nobody else.
He has 3 medical red flags right now and still makes $70 million a year.
5 now. Like that's how good of a prospect
Dude, he's got so many red flags. They're waving him in at an airport on a jetway.
Yeah. So there you
go. When we come back, coming up next, we'll take a peek around quarterbacks around the nation. But let's stick with the quarterbacks in this game, Ohio State, Texas, as we flip over to the Ohio State side. Look, I think Julian Sang had the benefit that his last name was not Manning because I don't think he played very well either. But there's not the hype around him. Plus, he's, a lot younger, I guess, quote unquote, and he didn't take the same kind of pressure that Arch Manning took. But look, there was a moment, I think Joel Klatt said it. He threw a pass. He overthrew a pass to a guy, and Joel Klatt was talking, and then Gus backed him up, and he said, look, when you have that guy on your team, talking about Jeremiah Smith, you get him the ball.
Yeah.
Because there were a couple times where Jeremiah Smith's like, hey, man.
There was the drag route where he was butt naked.
And he was like, dude, I am here.
To be fair.
You can trash Will Howard all you want, but that's 6 right now from Will Howard.
To be fair. Jeremiah Smith had a case of the dropsies.
He did, but I would argue it's probably because he was thrown off by, honestly, not getting the ball.
Could be, but also make the play, dog. You're supposed to be Himothy. Make the play.
If Clemson scored a 58 on their test and LSU scored a 64 on their test, what did Ohio State score on their test?
60.
Yeah. I thought their defensive line, I was massively impressed by their defensive line.
Their defense in general was very good.
Yeah, we knew the secondary with Caleb Downs back there was going to be good, but boy, I thought that front 7 was so nice. Nice.
I mean, having Downs and Igbinosun both back there, it's certainly helpful when you're talking about the secondary. But yeah, both defenses look great. And there should be no shock that those two teams that are that loaded are going to look that good defensively, blah, blah, blah. And defenses are ahead of offenses. Yeah, we get through all the tropes and all the things because they hold true. But they basically asked Julian Sang to make one play.
Yep.
And he did. He made one play. He was he finished 13 of 20? Is that what it was?
13 of 20 for 126 yards.
If you tell Sark you're going to limit them to basically 200 total yards of offense and 14 points, he probably thinks going into this game, I said Texas win by 2 scores. I said they'll win by 10. I thought this game would be 24-14. And honestly, it's what it should have been.
Dude, it's 203 yards of offense.
Yes. This game should have been a 24-14 Texas win.
Yeah.
That's what this game should have been. But they did not capitalize when they had the opportunities. When Julian Sang had one opportunity, he did.
He got it.
And you can say, look, for all of the, again, I don't want. I'm not bashing Arch. I am not. I think he's going to be fine. He's just not a Heisman winner. That touchdown throw was a dot.
He's got it. You can see it from him. I don't know if I see it in Julian Sand yet.
Top prospect, has all the juice.
Yeah.
Well, but here's the thing: if we're in week 8, week 9, week 10, and look, I don't expect a $126, but if he's not putting up better, significantly better numbers, I want to say it's going to hurt Ohio State. But after watching just college football in general, I just think that the college football world is in for a rude awakening when it comes to quarterback. Like,
dude, this is JJ McCarthy at Michigan stuff.
Hoover,
like they won a national. You can win a national championship throwing less than 200 yards.
Yeah. If you can run, number one, run the ball, which Ohio State could not do, but
Could not
it's against
Texas, maybe the best defense.
Hoover might have been the best looking quarterback in the country this weekend for TCU.
Totally.
I mean, he had the touchdown throw. The first touchdown throw he had over the shoulder was glorious. The boot to his left, throwing up the sideline to the wide receiver, was one of the nastiest throws of the weekend. It was filthy. I did not see Nussmeier. I did not see Arch. I did not see Klubnik. No other quarterback that played a relatively good team did I see quarterback play that was like Lenore Sellers. Did he make some plays? Yeah. Did I see him make spectacular play after spectacular play? No. Carson Beck probably looked the best of all the returning quarterbacks, and he was kind of bailed out with that catch from Williams, because if that ball sails and Williams doesn't grab that, that might be a pick in the end zone.
Yep. Yeah, let's get to that. Let's chat about quarterback play around the nation and look at it. So there's a couple guys that I thought played really well, and I want to show a lot of love to the kid. And I was very hard on him, but I'm glad they threw him out there. We'll do that next, but first, the kahuna over there, that's Jeff Rust. He's got sports.
I hear they got some tasty burgers.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This update brought to you by Mountaintop Metal Roofing. No maintenance, energy efficient, fire resistant, and a lifetime warranty. Do it once, do it right. Visit mountaintopmetalroofing.com. First on the Fan, this week's AP Top 25 poll is out. Ohio State, your new number one after beating then number one Texas. Penn State, LSU, Georgia, Miami, they round out your top 5. Oregon moving up to number 6 after taking care of business against Montana State. Texas falls all the way to 7. Alabama tumbling all the way from 8 to 21. That is their lowest spot in 17 seasons. That after losing to Florida State and those Seminoles, they're number 14 after being previously unranked. The Mariners have lost 3 of 4. They continue their road trip. Game 2 of 3 at the Rays. 4:35 first pitch on Root Sports. Brian Wu starting for Seattle. Drew Rasmussen for Tampa. The M's now 3 games back of the Astros in the AL West. And they hold only a 1.5 game lead now over the Rangers for the last wild card spot. And in the NFL, Jackson Dart listed as the number 2 quarterback on the Giants' unofficial depth chart of the season, whatever that means, behind Russell Wilson and ahead of Jameis Winston. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Sports Saturday with Joe Fisher and Rashad Taylor. Saturday mornings at 9 on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
All right, we'll finish up the day with closing arguments coming up here in a momento. But this is the talk. This is a big talk leading into the college football season and was definitely a point of conversation over the weekend. Look, it started with our week 0 game of Ohio State and Kansas State in Ireland. Not good quarterback play from either.
No.
Boise State on Friday. Madsen, not very good.
No.
Not very good at all. So there was a lot of really rough quarterback play. As we talked, Sayin and Arch were kind of rough. I thought Drew Aller was okay. There was nothing that really blew him away, but like Penn State didn't need much to take care of it. You know, we talked last hour about Nussmeier and Klubnik and how that was kind of a drag around knockdown sort of situation. Look, I thought Dante Moore played well, but again, that's the conversation of who you're playing against.
And he played well.
Like, yes.
I mentioned Hoover looking maybe the best we saw of anybody who played like a relatively competent team, and whether or not North Carolina is competent or not is remains to be seen. But he was effective as a quarterback, and somebody texted in Eric Dampier for Utah, and I thought Dampier was very good, but I thought the real damage he did was with his legs.
Mm-hmm.
He just physically they just beat the hell out of UCLA, and also UCLA is a hot garbage.
Wow. Are they the worst team in the Big Ten?
Yeah.
Northwestern looks bad.
Yeah, but UCLA looked horrendous. And there was some belief that UCLA, while still being bad, was going to be better this year. Nico looked terrible.
Now we're going to talk about Tennessee tomorrow.
Woo, buddy.
Tennessee fans
they're
are
probably
stoked.
Thrilled to have Joey Aguilar as opposed to Nico. But Dampier was, 21 of 25 for like 210, I think is what it was.
They didn't need him to do
much. But that's also again, it's
kind of like Dante at Oregon. He didn't need to do much.
It's not a shot at either Dante
or what's his name
Dampier.
at Georgia?
Gunner.
Thank you. Stockton. He didn't need to do much.
But also, I don't think I think he's a totally fine college. And that's the thing is, I think you have a bunch of competent level, quality quarterback play across the country. In week 1, no quarterback really separated and like wowed for me outside of Hoover. Like Hoover had 4 throws where I went, damn, like that is a dime. Whether it was with the touch pass and the touchdown, the throw up the sideline, he had a couple other bootlegs or just put it on guys. But you look at, I always love to go at the national leaders and just go, okay, who separated themselves? Who had a crazy week in a game that I didn't watch?
Jackson Potter, Wazoo.
But if you look at the national leaders, nobody. And that's running the ball, that's throwing the ball, that's wide receivers. Like nobody, there wasn't the college football 2014 video game. Nobody had video game numbers.
No.
On either side of the ball.
But as you've talked about, that might not happen anymore.
But again, that's where I was going with this. The parity of college football is very real.
I'd like to give some flowers to Bryce Underwood.
Look good.
Good. I'm fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
Throw the kid out, New Mexico. I don't know how much we're expecting from New Mexico.
We'll see how that looks this week.
Right.
And again, this is not going to be the biggest talking point, but it's going to be a talking point. The most egregious targeting call I've ever seen.
It's
for
rough.
Michigan. Barnum gets hit with the crime of being too big.
Yep.
And look, I don't think you could talk me into an unnecessary roughness. I don't even think roughing the passer. I don't think you can even talk me into a flag on the play, let alone targeting and ejection, and then the ruling today being upheld.
Yeah.
He will be suspended for the first half against Oklahoma. And that is the dumbest thing I've seen that's coming out of college football this week.
And talking about Bryce Underwood, we'll see next week. That's actually the closest to video game numbers we have. The closest to video game numbers we have. I know you're going to hate this. I know everybody knows I'm a honk, but I'm going to tell you it. It's 30 of 37 for 392 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 pick. And that would be starting quarterback and Heisman frontrunner, John Mateer at Oklahoma.
Who did Oklahoma play?
Illinois State.
Why is Mateer throwing the ball that many times against Illinois State?
Because they can do whatever they want, and they probably want to see it. Venables probably just wants to see him chuck it.
So if
let me see what you got.
He shreds his ACL against this team. You saw it. Congratulations. You look. The teams that beat the crap out of lesser teams that got some guys on the field, USC, Oregon, Oklahoma didn't do it until very late. There's one other team that just put up bonkers numbers that's totally escaping me.
But you kind of mentioned it with Arch, though, about like not wanting to run him too much or hurt him or things like that. Eventually, guys got to play.
I know, but why are you throwing the ball 37 times against Illinois State?
Probably because you want to know if your quarterback that you got from Washington State University can throw the football. And the answer is yes, he can.
You can throw it 20 times. You can throw it 25 times. Like what
Their leading rusher had 8 carries for 44 yards.
Yeah,
Maybe the rush game wasn't working.
Okay, then that's fine. It's still
What was had 3 receivers with 100 yards.
Yeah, what was the final score?
35-3.
Okay.
You can't run the ball.
Just get out of there with a freaking win, man. Like that's on to the next. You don't get style points. Throwing the ball at Megan, I think that's Venables trying to play up like, no, we're fine here now. Quarterback's in control. I know we had our quarterback issues. Jackson Arnold, blah, blah, blah. It is not worth it to throw the ball that many times against Illinois State.
It's probably also a little window dressing. It's also a little like, hey, AP poll, hey, coaches poll, look at us. We took care of business and our quarterback threw for almost 400 yards.
Luke Altmaier, Illinois wins 52-3 against Western Illinois, 17 of 21. Drew Aller, 46-11, Penn State over Nevada, 22 of 26. I'm trying to find any others here. Gunnar Stockton, 14 of 24 in Georgia's 45-7 win. Dante Moore, again, 18 of 23. Arizona State, this one was a little sideways because that game was a little closer. 38-19 over Northern Arizona. Levitt threw the ball 39 times. But I remember we went into that game, I go, Northern Arizona, for whatever reason, plays Arizona and Arizona State really well. Underwood, because the New Mexico game did get a little tight there for a little bit, Underwood throws the ball 31 times. Florida wins 55-0 against Long Island, which
it's not fair.
Remember I said
you can't do that.
You cannot play that team.
No.
Lagway threw the ball 18 times. The backup threw the ball 18 times. So those two quarterbacks combined for less throws than Mateer. Again, let me see if there's anything else in here.
You wanted video game numbers, and I gave you video game numbers.
Again, video game numbers against Illinois State.
Dude, but what if he has to throw the ball 40 times against Michigan next week?
Rocco Beck, 19 of 20 in Iowa State's win.
Okay, you've made your point.
Like
my guy sucks.
No. I criticize you for that pick. He might be the guy.
He looks good.
He might put up the numbers. Like the video game numbers that does juice the Heisman. I mean, look, Jaden Daniels, video game numbers.
Video game numbers, yeah.
Like that's a big part of this. But you go up and down the list of basically every quarterback that was playing a team that they just have no business playing. They're not throwing the ball like that.
My favorite quarterback of the weekend, if I'm being honest here, I was kind of mildly joking, mildly honest about John Mateer. The quarterback that impressed me the most this weekend, and it drives me crazy to say it, is the Vampire. It was Carson Beck.
He was clinical.
I thought he was great.
He was
I
clinical.
thought he was absolutely fantastic. I don't think there's NFL huge future for him, but he looked like a professional.
Limited mistakes.
Yep. Not like a professional, like I'm going to start in the NFL someday.
Again,
but like,
his numbers weren't great, but
I've done this before.
Yes, I
know what I'm doing.
That when I say clinical, I'm not talking about he was dissecting. He was completing 80% of his passes. I'm talking about making plays when he needed to. Didn't put you in a bad position. Didn't make mistakes. Now again, the throw to Williams, if he doesn't make that insane full stretch one-handed catch, that could be a pick and that could be the turning point of the game. But that's football in a nutshell. I think outside of that, he was everything you wanted to be as far as doing the things that you do within a Mario Cristobal offense.
Mm-hmm. And we'll talk about Mario Cristobal tomorrow as well, and a little bit of how the season's starting to shake out for him and how that looks. But when we come back, we'll wrap up college football for the day, for us at least. And are you having second thoughts on your natty picks? If you are, 503-864-6326. I'll ask Danny that question. I'll ask Russ that question. We'll ask myself that question as well. We'll do that next. Closing arguments. Call it a day. 105.1 The Fan.
of Harris and Meringue is wrapping up for the day,
You want answers?
which means it's time for the closing arguments
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth.
on the Fan Sports Network.
You can't handle the truth.
105.1 and 1080, The Fan.
All right, that'll do it for us. See you later. Bye.
You cut me off again?
You're never going to let that down, are you?
Nope.
Nope, we're going to hold on to that one, huh?
Are you just now realizing I'm petty? What's funny is it won't resonate until you say something that all of a sudden kicks it off like ding.
Petty Olympic gold medal winner over there.
Yes. And the thing is, it doesn't bother me, but if I have the opportunity to just juice it up a little bit,
Yeah.
I will.
Well, Ducks Insider comes on after us. You can catch them. I'm sure they'll have a lot to unpackage from the game itself over the weekend. I'm sure Dan Lanning will not announce the starting quarterback on Ducks Insider today. So I lost that bet. I kept teasing it like maybe he would, but no, I think that's set in stone. And then happy hour with Luke Anderson from 2 to 3 primetime, take you all the way home.
Well, the starter's been announced now.
I think the starter has been announced. Guys, after we watch week 1, is anybody worried that their national championship picks are terrible?
My first reaction is to say yes.
We
We both
have
picked Clemson.
Yeah.
But also, I watched college football this weekend.
There's not a team.
There's 12 teams, and I know Bartu will. I'm expecting 3, 2, 1 phone to like. There's not 12 teams to win a national title. Dave, I know talent and recruiting and transfer portal coaching profiles, all those things. There is not a team that stood out in week 1.
No.
Well, Utah stood out to me, but they don't have the talent profile to win a national title.
You could say the same about TCU as well.
Yeah.
I thought TCU stood out.
From a talent profile, or not a talent profile, but from a performance profile.
Yeah, the winners of the big games. Look, Miami deserved to win that game. I still think Notre Dame's got a shot.
Carr look for a guy
looked
making
okay.
the first start out there. The game management stuff at the end of the game, not getting to the line fast enough, not giving yourself an opportunity. Those things hurt, but those are, again, learning experience.
I also think there's a big benefit, and again, we'll talk about Cristobal tomorrow. But as we've lamented about Brian Kelly, at least I have. LSU is the new number 3 team in the nation.
Yeah,
I have a hard time buying Brian Kelly,
and now
So
Brian
it's like,
Kelly's firing back at Dabo, because if you missed it, we talked about it at the start of the show. Dabo basically said some version of the Clemson LSU was akin to taking a final exam the first day of class, where LSU scored a 70 or 65 and Clemson scored a 58 because it was a 17-10 game.
on.
Yeah, it was a 17-10 game that came down to the end.
Yep. And so I think what it is that a lot of the teams that played big teams that look good this weekend, I still have question marks just honestly about coaches like Sark.
Who of the basically the top 15 teams that played games that mattered do you feel better about than you did going in?
You know what? I'm glad you asked that question because I was going to get there. My answer is Ryan Day in Ohio State. I thought Ryan Day, everything you want to say about Julian Sayin is correct. I agree as well. I think that kid's got a long way to go if they want to win a national championship. But Ryan Day had his guys ready. They didn't make mistakes outside of, some drop balls by the best player in the country.
They lose one of the best defensive coordinators in the country, and now they
they've
get
got a
Patricia
Belichick
out there,
dude, with the pencil.
Yeah,
and I thought they looked great.
Defensively, they look great.
They looked fantastic. I learned more about Ohio State this week. I am more not nervous or worried or scared, but I am more intrigued by Ohio State now because now I know what the defense is. I know that defense is a top 5 defense in the nation. Now I'm just going to watch Julian Sayin. And see if Jeremiah Smith can win a Heisman.
And see where that profile goes. Yeah.
So that's probably the team that I learned. I probably learned more about Michigan as well.
Okay.
Funny enough to talk Michigan and Ohio State in that because I didn't know what Bryce Underwood was going to look like. And I know New Mexico's not a big deal, but if you're going to have a quarterback that's going to throw for over 200 yards a game, that's the first time that's happened since 2003, since 2023, okay? They hadn't won a natty. The last coach to win a natty when that happened was Lloyd Carr and Charles Woodson, and Brian Greasy was the quarterback. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's been a while.
So, it's that impressed me more. I still have my under total that I believe in. I don't think Michigan's going to be that great this year. But those are probably 2 schools and Utah. I'll give you the Utah.
Utah looked dominant, but I also think it says more about UCLA. Miami, and we always have our Cristobal questions and the Carson Beck question.
And that's what it is still for me. But they look good.
They look good.
They look really good.
Florida State. there are a few schools in this country that when they have a swagger to them, they just play different. Miami and Florida State are two of those teams where there's something about being in a sunny destination where when Texas, the Vince Young years, when they had that swagger, the Florida State teams that had that swagger, the Florida teams that had that swagger, the Miami teams, USC's, like when you those
and those classic teams have that swagger.
Those Sun Belt, there's a different kind of swagger because the Ohio States, the Michigans, the Notre Dames, like the Midwestern swagger is more blue collar. I'm talking like the LSU Honey Badger teams when there's something about those warm weather teams that there's just some juice to them that when they're rolling, it just feels different.
I think my issue with Florida State is I'm going to have to wait 1, 2, 3 more games, and then they host Miami.
Yeah, I mean
that's when I'll know because I'm not convinced that Florida State is great.
No, I'm not convinced they're great.
I don't mean to bag on them.
That is a team that did something.
I'm not convinced they're top 25. I'm not.
Yeah, because Alabama could be hurting.
That's my question.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's not fair.
No,
it's
it is.
So unfair to Florida State that you played well, you kicked their teeth in, you deserved every ounce of it. But I don't know.
They moved from unranked to top 20.
But I don't know. Like Alabama looked bad.
Yeah. And then Miami. Both those, because Miami, I always say like I'm not a Carson Beck guy, but they look good.
I like my Oregon pick though. To lose the Natty.
Oh, there you go. I mean, sure, it's on the table.
Offense looked good.
That's the thing is, after week one, only thing I know is nothing.
Yeah, I know nothing too. But I knew that before week one.
Yeah.
Apropos of nothing, and since we're almost done with the show here, is Julian Sand the most Easter Island head-looking college quarterback we've seen since Trevor Lawrence?
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes.
Maybe. You talking about the nostrils?
Yeah.
The nose?
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's
sorry.
No.
I don't want to be mean, but man,
I like that thought that you're talking about though. The swagger.
There's just something to it.
We
right?
haven't seen the swagger team yet. It could be Florida State. They could be the swagger team because right now, because I think those Vince Young teams, you know that kind of swagger that you were talking about. Like I think Dabo kind of would roll with that.
No, yeah, I mean those teams did.
But do you think Marcus Freeman would roll with that? I don't think so.
That's what I'm saying.
There's
a
lot of coaches now don't want that. I don't think Dan Lanning wants that.
But I think those again, you're talking about teams north of the Mason-Dixon line. Like that's kind of what
Brian
it is.
Kelly would totally do it.
Well, remember he tried to do a fake Louisiana accent, so the guy's open to anything.
Totally
Minerals, vitamins.
I don't know about Sark though.
Oh,
he seems to try to be. He seems like he's trying to be buttoned up, and I think it's because he's scared of like all the bad rap he had from being a drunk.
They're running Lambos.
Yeah, I
out
suppose
at
that's
recruiting
true.
visits. Like, come on. Let's keep it a buck here.
Yeah, I feel like most of these guys. Yeah, I don't know. I think you're right. Something about the hot weather. Well, our boy at Arizona State, he will definitely live that life.
Again,
he will definitely.
There's
live
just
that life.
Jed Fish when he was at Arizona.
He lived that life.
Yeah, there's just something about.
But I don't see Link doing it though.
No, Lincoln's kind of a wet blanket, but also.
But I think that's because there's a lot going on.
But also,
there.
I think the rest of the staff is.
Yeah.
And so that's where I can kind of
dude, that USC Moxie.
Look,
some fun stuff
when that swagger is rolling at those schools, there's just something fun about it.
Yeah. All right, that's gonna do it for us. Tomorrow we'll have Tyson Alger on at 10:30 as he visits us every Wednesday. We'll talk a little Ducks. We'll get into Bill Belichick and how that situation is going. Tennessee fans are stoked, and we'll talk a little NFL and is Mario Cristobal on to something at Miami. A lot to get to tomorrow, so hang out with us. For Danny Meringue, that's Jeff Rust. I'm Patrick Harris. Go do something I would do.
Bye.
Hey, it's Suk. And guys, if you're losing your hair and you need a simple solution that actually works, you want the best.